And welcome back. It's Friday night. We are here with the Average Boys podcast. I totally missed you guys. It's been a really weird, long, slow, annoying week, but it's been full of excitement. And I'm ready to talk about things. So, with that being said, I want to welcome my co host that's the awesomest dude on the planet. Trigger, what is up, my dude?
What's going on, man? Kind of playing around with some stuff right now. Got my GoPro hooked up to my cam link.
Sharp.
Yeah. I like, guys, I'm playing around with settings right now. I literally just started setting this up, like, no kidding, 15 minutes ago. So I know that like my white balance is a little bit off. I have this connected to, god damn, dude, I really hope. Okay, yeah, this should be providing power. If it doesn't, thankfully I have my Keo that I can just switch back to, so it won't be an issue or anything like that. But I'm trying out some new stuff, some new angles, even some new lights.
Man, it looks great. I think it looks fantastic.
Good, man.
I like the wide angle of it. I like how it's
that's
really
kind of what I was
wide.
going. That's really what I was going for. Was just like that wide angle, and yeah, I wanted something a little bit like something that was gonna like showcase, like, I was gonna say the rest of the room, but you really don't see the rest of the room. You see a lot of like empty space, and like I need to fill this. But some interesting developments. I'm moving with my wife. Yeah, we are moving. Yeah, not like no, like we're staying in McAllen. We're staying in the RGB. Yeah, but no, we're just moving to a different place. That's it. You know, we found a different place, something a little bit cheaper. Not that this place is out of our price range, but you know, she's in school, I'm in school, I'm working, she's working. You know, and dude, we have a lot on our plate. So,
well, I mean, it's always about. I mean, if what's up, Sal? I hope you're doing good. It's good to see you in the chat, bro. At least we know that one of our huge comic fans is in there.
yeah.
Sal's a dude. He knows his stuff, so we're super excited to have him here. Yeah, man. But I mean, we have a tendency as podcasters and entertainers and influencers to listen to other podcasters and all this other stuff, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes you'll catch us. I'm not a big fan of life coaching and all that shit. I don't believe in it too much. Or like the self-made millionaires that end up becoming self-made because they end up becoming life coaches.
Like, I can do it, guys.
Yeah, the all you got to do is wake up and breathe, and it's that easy to be a millionaire. Like, yeah, I'm not really into those dudes, but sometimes you'll catch me watching like Gary V or what's that one fucking Marine guy that comes out in all the podcasts? He's got like a fucking Jocko.
Oh
yeah.
Sometimes
I watch them, or like, you know, Tim Kennedy or you know, just the regular podcasts and stuff like that.
Tim Kennedy's like, I wouldn't even really call him a life coach. That guy's a fucking
G. Well, him and Jocko too, man. Jocko's the same way. But you know, you sometimes see these life coaches and they're all saying like, you know, how to be successful in your later years, because that's when you're going to be able to really like have the opportunity to appreciate, you know, all your hard work and effort, which is all your life from the ages of elementary and working through school all the way to college, all the way to whatnot, right? They always talk about how in the beginning, you want to make sure that you're saving as much as you can, or not saving, but investing into yourself as much as you can, and then later you'll benefit from it by being able to appreciate it more. So that's like when you're going to college, when you're doing all that stuff, you know, don't party out so much. Don't try to be in the club, like trying to live paycheck to paycheck. You know, be more of a homebody. Invite your friends over, drink and barbecue with them more at the house, rather than you having to like fucking go out and spend a bunch of cash or do a bunch of stuff. And don't worry about
shit. Man, that whole scene just really isn't like for me anymore. Like, I actually just got a new job.
Nice, congrats, brother.
Yeah, I'm actually one of the new bartenders at Dragon Warrior Noodle.
Oh wow, which one?
The one on McCall.
In Edinburgh or McAllen?
McAllen, technically.
Oh, good. Yeah, the one in Edinburgh sucks.
Yeah, and
yeah, man, I was at Dragon Warrior Noodle a while back, and it's, you know, I was excited to eat there. I had eaten there once before, which was one in McAllen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not that one, but the one that used to be over there at 15th. Or
okay,
15th Street. And I ate there, and everything went really cool. It was after a convention and stuff like that. And then I went to the one in Edinburgh, and when I was there, dude, the guy, I told him like, okay, cool, like just can the dish that I was the what is it? Just can you make me my dish? It's a meat bowl or whatever. Like
Yeah.
it didn't have anything in it except for like beef, a little bit of stock, and some work, right?
Yeah.
And I told the guy, I was like, hey man, just make sure that you don't like cook put any noodles. I mean, not noodles, but mushrooms because I'm allergic to mushrooms.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, or the person was like, oh okay, well I'll tell the chef. And the person comes back and they're like, sir, like I think the manager came back and he's like, sir, are you the guy that's allergic to mushrooms? And I was like, yeah, I'm allergic to mushrooms. So if you can just like, push them aside and just don't get it close to my food and I'll be all right. And the guy's like, well, I recommend you just don't eat here. Like literally, that's the exact same way he told me. And that right there, your face was my face. The guy was like, yeah, I recommend you just don't eat here then. And I was like, excuse me? And he's like, yeah, I just recommend you don't eat here because like we have mushrooms throughout the kitchen. So if you can't take mushrooms, I would just not recommend you to eat here. And I was like, are you saying as a chef that a chef that claims to be a chef that you cannot produce a meal with one piece of ingredient that isn't even added to the stock, it's added later as an ingredient itself, like as a topping to the soup. Are you saying you cannot do that? And the guy's like, oh, it's not that. It's just that I wouldn't feel that you would be in a safe environment because of the other foods. And I was like, clean the top, wash the knife. Are you saying you don't clean your shit or what? Like, man, we got into it, dude. Like we got into it super hard. And then I was like, bro, and I showed him the menu and I was like, the dish I ordered doesn't even have mushrooms in it. Like it has 0 mushrooms as an ingredient. And the guy was still like, nah, man, like I don't think it's safe. Like, I just don't think you should eat here. And I was like, cool, man. So I bounced and I left him a fucked up review on like their Yelp or something like that, right? And of course you had like your dick riding people that jumped on and tried to like defend the place. And I was like, well, how do you defend owning a restaurant, right? And claiming that you do this and that you're, it's not like we don't watch YouTube videos and there's not like a million fucking ramen soup videos online that you can see how people can fucking create dishes. And then you see that the fucking mushroom part can be removed and it can be completely cooked without mushrooms because of the fact that it's an ingredient that adds flavor later on to the meal. I was highly disappointed. I ended up, there wasn't very many other soup places. I ended up getting the opportunity to go and eat at Yasuke, I think.
Yeah, man, we ate at Yasuke.
Yeah, with the guys, remember with Michael
with the boys. Yeah, that was good, dude. I really liked that place.
Yeah, it was enjoyable, dude. And when I told him, remember you were with me when I was like, can you be careful? Because the guy was like, yeah, cool, man, I got you. I mean, fuck, dude. Even at Khan's Grill, bro, where they cook 28 goddamn meals on one big dish.
Yeah,
like I could tell the dude, hey, can you be careful and not let any mushrooms get in my stuff because I'm allergic. And the dude will be like, oh, okay, cool. Like, and they'll put a little corner and like isolate it and cook it. And the guys will do it. The fucking guys that aren't chefs, they're just random dudes that end up getting jobs as the chefs at fucking.
Yeah, man. The place that I'm at is on McCall.
Yeah, that's the one over there next to the UFC gym.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about it's like on the
I live right there.
East side? Yeah, it's the east side.
It's on Fern.
Yeah. Yeah, I do remember that. I do remember that place. And that's cool, man. I think it's probably a different manager or some shit, but yeah, I think the manager was
maybe a new owner, dude. Because like after I had my interview, so I'd like to say that I'm a pretty humble dude. Like I really don't like bragging about myself.
About his penis, guys.
Yeah, like I don't talk about myself whatsoever, right? But when it comes to my bartending, that's like probably the only thing where I'm like, all right, dude, like
you take pride in your work.
I know what I'm doing. So like, it's one of those few things that like, if you're going to tell me something and it's wrong, I'm going to correct you. Well, this time I go in and then I was hired on the spot. Like I gave them my resume, like they had my resume like on hand. They were like, hey, like tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, where have you worked? The list, bro. The list. And they were like
dropping it.
They were like, shit, you have been all over the place. And they were like, how long have you been bartending? And I was like, off and on for like 13 years.
13 years, yeah.
Yeah, and they were all like, yeah, man, like we'd really like to have you and stuff like that if you're still interested. And I was like, yeah, man, let's do it.
Shout out to John. John in the comments, my bro.
Yeah.
Good to see you, brother. Corpus would be badass, man. Maybe
Dude, heck yeah, man. Heck yeah, dude. I'm down.
Yeah, man. So I mean, congratulations on getting the job. The place, when I had the opportunity to eat there at the McAllen one, the food was pretty good. For me, it's soup, so it's not like this like marvelous like let me ship you off to Japan movement. Like,
yeah,
it's just soup.
Yeah.
It's just soup. I still think caldo is one of the best soups on the market. So ramen don't kill no caldo. So,
yeah.
But yeah, man, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. What else happened this week? Started going back to teach at the gym. Got to get back with my students and get back to training.
The kid who got you sick, dude?
Yeah. Right back to the place that got me sick. Yeah, it felt good to be back with my students. A lot of stuff happening in the Marvel universe. A lot of stuff happened in this week.
Dude?
It did have its ups. Marvel had its ups this week, but it did have like one point that I'll talk about that I thought was very weird. That I don't know why they did that as a business, but I could see it being a problem later on. Actually, I have read a couple of crossovers, Sal. I think it's a great book. I really don't know where they're going with it, but the last part I got up to was, I think, when Hyperion showed up.
I haven't read crossover yet.
Yeah, it's a very interesting book, man. It's a very interesting book. Yeah, because it's just got so many different superheroes in like a real world scenario where people are starting to get superpowers. Yeah, it's very, very weird. Very weird, but super cool, man. Super cool to see all those people. Yeah, for what it's worth, it's been a pretty crazy week. I have been feeling a lot better.
You sound a lot better, man. You sound a lot better from last week.
Yeah, because I don't know, man. Like, the only thing that I have right now is I have like bronchial irritation, right? Which I think I said last week. It's not as bad this week, but I do find myself kind of like
feeling it
in the sense of like a cough, right? Like a cough with no reason. So I feel like if there's anything that this disease did to me on a long term, is it might have done damage to my bronchioles. So like it might have done like some scar tissue or something to it that I'm just gonna always have that vibe.
Yeah.
Where I'm always trying to clear my throat. But I was trying to consider what it was I was dealing with, and I know that I was having that problem from before when I got my flu from the previous year. So I had already been, trying to, I always had that coughing scenario. The only other thing that I feel is I feel tired all the time. Like I feel tired all the time. Like this week when I went to the gym, of course, I was super excited to see my students. But man, it took a lot out of me to want to do mitts or to move around and do stuff. Like it really I don't know, like it's just really weird. I can't put my finger on it. I used to be one of those like, what's your sign and what crystal do you like to wear around your neck and have in your house? And I used to believe it was like the magnetism of the earth, that maybe like the rotation of it made people more tired or some shit. Like you weren't in harmony with the frequency of the planet, right? Which is a not too weird of an idea, but it's got its moments of maybe I'm taking too many drugs, maybe I'm licking the toad too hard.
Yeah, dude.
But
getting real weird on me, guys.
Getting real weird. But yeah, I used to believe that maybe it's just like we're just not on the right vibe, because I wasn't the only one that just was feeling tired. There were so many people. What's up, Ham?
What's up, Ham?
Yeah, John, I did have my birthday August 12th. Thank you, brother. It was really cool. I was not sick on my birthday. And the coolest thing I got to do on my birthday was I got to finally get the opportunity to cook some tomahawk steak. So I've never cooked tomahawk steak before as a meal. And I got the opportunity to grill it up, throw it down, and it was a spectacular steak, man. Not in the sense that I cooked it badass, because I don't think I'm a great cook in that sense, but the steak itself was really tender, held all the moisture in,
oh yeah,
was, dude, like just just falling apart. You know how like when you bite into like a skirt meat or out of cheddar, like sometimes you bite into it and like the little fibers of the meat will get stuck in your teeth and they'll hurt your
Yeah.
gums. And like I had zero of that happen when I was eating this, like zero. It was just so cool. It is a challenge if you're a casual barbecue kind of guy. This goes out to practically everyone in the valley who claims to run a barbecue shop, that out of their house or whatever. Like
Right.
they all have the capes
I
and the
make the best
smokers.
barbecue in Texas,
Yeah,
hands fucking down. Yeah.
everyone in Texas is a pit
Right.
master.
I'm a
I've
pit
been. Have you
master.
been
I don't
noticing
even
that?
own a pit. I don't even own a pit, and I'm a pit master, dude.
Have you been noticing that there's a lot more people being all pit master nowadays, like
I don't give
throwing
a
it
fuck,
down.
dude.
I'm gonna throw some fucking I don't know, fucking Tibetan salt from the fucking Tibetan feet of I don't know, fucking Chef Boyardee or whatever.
I don't
I
know.
bought it at
For me,
HEB for
what I
$70.
really want to try, and this is like, I want to try some grade A Wagyu. Like,
Okay, so if you want to try, okay, so Wagyu beef is pretty.
it's tender.
Well, no, well, I was gonna say in the sense of like getting it right, like to get it and to get like a really high expensive cut, you're gonna have to probably order it like special order.
I know.
You probably get it on Amazon.
I know
Better,
I can, dude. I can order truffles.
yeah, on Amazon.
Truffles on Amazon from Italy. Can get truffles.
Let me disappoint you all real quick. This is a 3-pound bag of heart-shaped sweet tart candies that they only sell during Valentine's Day. I ordered this like a year ago on Amazon, and I've just been smashing it, dude, for fucking whole year. 3 pounds, dude, and I'm already down to like this much, half of the bag. It started off
Fucking
full,
funny, bro.
full, bro. It started off full, and I have okay. So saying that out loud is I have a 3-pound bag of candies that I ordered online. I love Amazon for that kind of shit. Yeah, that's what I was gonna actually say. Jeremy, thanks dude for coming in. Jeremy, it's good to see you too in the comments.
Which I'm okay with. I really don't care about the price. Like, if I'm gonna pay good money for meat, then I'm gonna pay good money, dude. It's fine.
Yeah.
I have no problem paying, 30, 40, $50, dude.
Yeah, because I kind of feel like it's like that's the adventure of barbecuing and cooking for yourself.
Yeah.
Like if it's for yourself or your personal matter, you don't mind going the extra mile to buy the brand rather than the generic one.
Yeah,
Right?
could give a fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Could give a fuck.
I mean,
yeah, dude,
we've been eating out of cheddar.
No shit. 4 ounces of truffles from Italy, $137 on Amazon.
Very cool. But okay, so the thing is
like some like other shit. Like the moment that it's picked, it immediately starts going bad. So you like need to get it.
Need it. So HEB actually sells Wagyu beef. Mm-hmm. They actually sell it, and it comes out to like, I think for like a small steak, because I bought one once and I got to cook it, and we cooked it for us and a couple friends because I kind of take eating as an experience.
It's
so like the first time I want to try it, I want to be able to share that experience with my friends. So I'll buy enough so that I could cook it and then share it amongst people. Bro. And then ask them how their experience was.
Dude, so I'm looking at one. A5 genuine. This is Kobe. Yeah, this is a Kobe ribeye, Japanese Wagyu. 13 to 15 ounces, $350.
Mm-hmm. Is that on Amazon?
Yep. Fuck it.
Yeah. So you're gonna get some really, really cool shit on Amazon, but for local, HEB's got your back.
Yeah.
HEB, which is really, really cool, man, because I mean, it may not be like a super high quality meat, like that's like super expensive and whatnot, but it does give you the opportunity to at least try something in that general range.
Yeah, no, honestly, if I did get one of those, I would probably dry age it in butter.
Okay.
And then like let it sit for a minute and then like actually like, cook it that way.
That's not a bad idea. So what
I've seen people dry age their Wagyu in butter and bro, it locks in. Oh, dude,
Nice, dude.
everything.
Nice. What I do is I'll dry season the meat and then let
Okay.
it sit in the well, I'll get it to room temperature first and then season it because it allows in my opinion, I don't know if it's fucking
Right. Fucking
I'm not a
Gordon
pit
Ramsay or
master,
some
dude.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not Gordon Ramsay and I'm not a fucking pit master.
It's
But
fucking dry.
random question, are there any barbecuing in any comic series? I don't know if there's any barbecuing, but
Was it
you may
who is it? Green Arrow made chili one time, and
oh well the X-Men always had
yeah,
that fucking summer barbecue that they do at the beach.
yeah,
Yeah, there's that. But I was gonna say if you want to see something pretty funny, this thing will fucking blow your mind on how funny it is. Watch Food Wars, the anime. Watching Food War the anime is fucking wild, dude. It's like they're cooking fucking meals and they're kind of like using the ingredients and the artist and the writer is putting the shit down. And then all of a sudden someone will eat some shit and they'll orgasm and it's the funniest shit. It's the like it's the fucking weirdest show, man. Weirdest show.
dude, like to me, Food Wars seems like one of those that like, like yeah,
hey, you see
like
what Ham knows. Look at
yeah,
him. Look at him. The X-Men had the beach trading cards.
yeah.
Yeah, those are fucking. Yeah, he
The
knows. He knows
little yeah
exactly the reference.
the little like one shot ones where they were like drawing like all the X-Men babes in like their
Yeah,
bikinis and shit in the
fucking
90s.
Wolverine on the barbecue pit cooking hot dogs with his
Yeah,
fucking
dude,
knives and
fucking
shit.
just ripped as fuck.
Everybody's wearing speedos and shit.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember
I
that shit. That
remember
was a
those.
fucking Central Mall Collectibles. Exactly. Actually, I actually had this series in collection. I used to
That's
collect
badass,
comic
dude.
cards and I used to collect comics. I used to collect action figures and do all this stuff. I got out of it, um, like my senior year in high school. I got out of collecting. I had a bunch of stuff in collection too, man. I ended up selling everything in my collection for like $300.
What?
Yeah, I woke up. The idea of collecting stuff like it's cool, but sometimes it freaks me out. Like I kind of tip my hat to the guys that are super into collecting and have some really good memorabilia that they have money in their bank, right? I really tip my hat to them because the idea is the gamble, right? Like one moment, like let's say you have an action figure and a bunch of series and a bunch of other stuff you've been collecting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say I get one toy and that toy on the market, people are like, oh man, you could sell that for like $200. $200. And then someone says, oh, that toy over there is 50. Oh, that toy over there you could probably sell for 70, and vice versa, right? Well, in my opinion, there is a point where as a collector, you're going to be like, well, let me bank on this. Let me bank on this. Let me sell my collection and then I'll be sitting on my fortune, right? But it never happens that way because from the collecting part, it ends up going to the bartering part. So, like, after all the hard work of collecting, saving, and holding it and trying to preserve something for many years, someone's going to try to lowball you later on. And that means the entire collection that you have is not going to be worth the amount that's in your brain. Right. So that means you're going to lose. You're going to lose in some weird ass way. So then it gets into this idea that you're going to start selling your collection in parts, right? In parts and parts and parts, but you never know what the other person is going to do with your collection, which was, I think it was, that kid from the '70s show. What was that Mexican kid? Fez?
Oh, Wilmer Valderrama. Some
If you
shit like
ever have a chance, look up what he did with that Spider-Man comic. The dude bought like I think it's like $1,000 comic of Spider-Man, and then he
that.
turned it into the wallpaper of his bathroom. Yeah, he took all the pages off and fucking had someone put them up on the wall. And in my mind, I was like, bro, like he just took like, an important piece of American literature, American literature, and turned it into wallpaper. That was nuts to me, dude. I totally blew my mind. It totally took the piss out of the idea of how important my collection was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I never collected. I ended up calling a friend of mine who was a big collector. He had just about as big as a collection as mine, and I told him, "Hey, what's up, man? Hey, if you come by right now, man, I'll sell you my whole collection, $300, dude. You take everything." And he was like, "What?" And he was like, "For reals?" He's like, "Even your spawn, the angel spawn, and the misprint angel or misprint Vegeta, all that stuff, because all of those were like individually priced high."
Mhm.
And I was like, "Yeah, man, right now, dude, just come by, pop it off $300, the whole wall." He's like, "Bet, I'll be there right now." He fucking came over and just bought everything. But I made $300, and I was like, "Cool, man, get it out of my house. I don't want to see this shit anymore. I'm disappointed." Disappointed, and I never got into collecting again. So that's why, like, that's why I'll instantly shit on Pops, like the fucking Pops toys that everybody sells at the damn conventions that take over all the time. I'll instantly shit on them when people say that, "Oh man, there's a limited edition." No, man, there's no such thing. No such thing as limited edition. Let Wilder Valder Mama grab one of those toys and fuck the whole collection up. Then
Well,
it'll be a fucking. Then
no,
it'll be.
I mean, it's still a limited edition. It's what you do with a limited edition
Yeah.
is, is completely different.
Well, I mean, but then again,
like
it's like if a company calls it a
no,
certain.
no, it is
thing,
like they're like if it's a limited run, then yes, by definition, limited edition. Like Don Quixote.
Mhm.
The first editions of Don Quixote go for like $15,000, right? Let's say I felt like being a complete fucking dickhead, bought
Tear it up.
one, and just wallpapered.
Wilder
my
Valderrama.
Yeah, and that's not at all going to take away from the fact that it's a first edition. I just happened to deface, a first edition. That's all he did. Like does that make it right? No. Shame on you, you Mexican motherfucker, dude. Shame on you.
Mexican
But
motherfucker.
still, don't do that. But that still doesn't take away from the fact that let's say we get like a fucking first appearance of Thor, Tales in the Mystery or some shit like that. And I cut that fucker open and I'm like, you know what? Wallpaper my shit.
You make like a montage of cutting all the characters out individually.
Right. And like I just fuck up a comic like that. Well, guess what? It's still limited, right? They don't make them anymore.
Yeah, they don't make them anymore. Now that all the other comic books that are out there are just a little more expensive.
Yeah.
So in the sense, Wilder Valderrama, I can't even pronounce his stupid name. He helped all the other collectors out that have that comic. Because now they have a more expensive version of the comic book.
Right. I mean, congrats to him, I guess.
No kidding, man. All right, Trigger.
What's up?
We're 9:30. We're jumping into some conversations, jumping into some fucking cool shit. Mostly all today is going to be probably based on, I would say, like a Marvel kind of day. Maybe a little bit of, I wanted to jump in and talk a little bit of an anime that I'm watching that I think people should jump on if you're into anime, if you're into that kind of stuff out there. But did you hear about Shang Chi?
I did, man. I heard that it got some pretty good reviews, actually.
Yeah.
I heard that it's doing a lot better than originally expected.
Look, I'm gonna be the bad cop and the good cop situation. Guys, if the average boys ever gets invited to a virtual screening of any of these things or a live screening of a Marvel movie or a DC movie or anything like that,
Chris Jaded got it.
Remember this. If I ever point at the camera and double wink, it means I'm lying. Never forget that. It means I'm lying. So if Marvel or DC ever invite us or any other company and they invite us to an early screening of a movie and you see us come out and I'm all like, guys, that was a super great movie, and I double wink, know that I am talking shit and they're making me do it. Okay, so one thing that I've really, really gotten upset about in the last couple of years is the fact that these companies, okay, so Shang-Chi hasn't been promoted as much as a lot of other Marvel movies has. They're not really putting a lot into promotion. I would say into the virtual promotion by putting it into Facebook and YouTube and having it come out every 15 seconds. I get that. But there's not a lot of real Marvel promotion when it comes to this film. Right now, I think they're using the word of mouth kind of mentality to get people to want to go to the theaters more because of the whole virus situation, right?
Which I can't exactly blame them for.
I can't. I'm not.
That's one of
But
those
for the
things where
creators of for the two guys in Marvel to come out and say, "Oh, Shang-Chi's an experiment," I didn't
oh,
quite understand that.
I thought that was the hugest slap in the face.
Yeah, I thought it was very like a white man saying that they couldn't believe that Asians could run a movie and it'd be good. So I kind of took it more like a racial kind of condensation.
I didn't. I actually know what they're talking about.
What are they talking about?
So they're talking. They're actually talking about the the length of the theatrical release. Usually we get a 60-day theatrical release. They are now they're moving to a 45. Thus the experimentation. A lot of people went racial on it. They were like, "Whoa!"
Oh yeah, of course. I'm telling you, for the way that it came out, it came out racist.
Yeah,
right?
Which I understand. Totally understand. Yeah. Totally get it.
Did I believe
that's not what he meant?
Yeah,
though.
I was gonna say, did I truly believe that the owner of Disney was literally like, "Nah, we don't think a bunch of Chinese people can make this movie work"? No, I didn't believe that. No. I didn't believe that at all. I knew it had to deal with, with the aspect of the business part.
Yeah.
Which is even in the concept of it's an experiment because we're not allowing it to be on the streaming service for the first 45 days either. It's only going to be theatrical release. You cannot get it VIP or special. The only way to do it.
Good for them, dude. Like I'm not going to fucking bitch about it. That's like one of those things where, like if I had found out about that, like I probably would have gone racial too, right? And I'm like, the fuck do you mean experiment? Right? I'm not some fucking experiment. And like I get where Simu Liu is coming from. I think he's a little opinionated when he comes to I think he's a bit of a hothead when he when it comes to his responses. But whatever, dude. I mean, he got shit on like a lot of his career. So I get why he's real defensive. But I know that's not what the guy was talking about. Had it been Bob Iger, the former CEO of Disney, that guy would have been like, bro, we have the best Asian cast. We have the best, writers. We have the best this, the best that. We're trying a new experiment with a 45-day theatrical release before we release it on Disney Plus. Blah, 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 blah. He would have given complete connotation to what he was saying, because when you are in a position like that, even us as like, like lowly little influencers, right? Our words can be taken and misconstrued.
Oh yeah,
very easily,
very easily,
very easily. So like because of that, I'm very conscious about like what I put on Facebook, what I say on Twitter, what I react to on on my Facebook and Twitter, how I say things, on air and stuff like that. I mean, how many times have we seen influencers just get completely steamrolled
shit on man,
by by the populace and cancel culture, where we're just like, bro, I mean, why the fuck would I ever want to be in that position, sort of. So
I think it's of course, I mean, we've had small discussions about it, the cancel culture idea, and we talk about it, how thin line it is all the time. Like it's always thin line, there's a bunch of stuff, but you know what, we don't shy away from the conversation, and we don't shy away from our ideals either. I mean, we're both very we're both very vocal on how sometimes the push of the narrative from the LGBT communities in the comics in the last recent years has been a little too overbearing.
Yeah.
And the same thing with like the gender swapping and
those are certain hills that like I'll kind of die on, and mostly because like it's not me being like, oh, like I'm a huge diehard and this, that, and the other. Like, no, dude, like this is something that like I've grown up with my entire life. I've been in this my entire life. I mean, I now run a podcast. I now, stream. I do these things. I'm very out there and stuff like that. And I don't expect, my popularity to ever grow into like the kind of thing where, I go to like Kaboom or Myth or something like that, and I see somebody or someone sees me and is like, oh my god, Trigger from the Average Boys. Let me get Trigger. I mean, dude, if it happened, that'd be the fucking greatest thing. You ever see me, just humor me and ask for my autograph. Make me feel good. Yeah. but like what I mean is that like somebody in his position needs to understand that the words that he says have a huge effect on the overall narrative of what you believe your movie is going to produce.
Well, I mean, not
You
only
know,
that. I mean, we saw the backlash of that kind of situation when it came to Gina Carano in Star Wars, right?
yeah,
When she made her comment, which was the Holocaust comment,
yeah.
which,
I
in my opinion,
personally,
of course,
I would have to say that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. She has made some transphobic comments,
in the
has
past,
has said some very stupid things. I don't know if she's given any formal apologies. Pedro Pascal has told her like, "Hey man, we get it. Like you're using your platform to inform people. That's cool. That's great. But you need to chill on what you say."
you see, and that was
Like,
the point. That was the argument a lot of people had, which was the same moments that Gina Carano was out there talking politics. There was other people talking politics also and using their platforms to put their opinions out, and they weren't getting scolded or reprimanded for their situation. That's where Gina Carano was coming from,
mhm.
even though that it was just an opinion. You know what I mean? She might have put it
Yeah,
in a weird dick kind of verbatim, but it was still in a way her
yeah,
opinion, which a stupid ass opinion, to say the least. But when you push it on the internet, like, be prepared to get some shit talked back. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I think I've said it before. Like, I'm kind of more. I lean a little bit more towards the right wing capitalism kind of shit, where like I believe that if you work hard for what you get, like you should earn what you work for, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not very I'm not closed minded, man. I like to listen to people. I like to hear their opinion. You know what
I
I mean?
just like to stay. I like just to stay objective.
Yeah, of course.
That's the easiest way that I put it. I just like to remain objective. I try and look at both sides of the argument and stuff like that. And this is the only thing that I'm going to comment on the situation at hand, but the stuff that's going on in Afghanistan.
Yeah, I was just about
I,
to ask you too.
I completely understand both sides of the argument, both from a military and from a civilian standpoint. I get both arguments. I understand what I feel about it is completely irrelevant. Completely irrelevant. My platform and how I've chosen to use my platform is my business and my business alone. So, like the whole deal with Afghanistan and stuff like that, I will first and foremost say any and every soldier who feels some type of way about it, they are completely entitled to feel that type of way about it. That's it. That's the extent of my argument as far as that. And the reason being is because you didn't go there. That's it. If you were an OIF or OEF and you happen to have an opinion, awesome. That opinion is yours. No one has that right to take it away from you because you were there. We were not. That's it.
Yeah, the Afghanistan situation is a very awkward situation to say the least.
Oh, it's a touchy situation. that is one of those that like I've spoken to friends about it. People. I've reached out to a lot of my old NCOs who were in OIF, OEF. My family members who were out there and stuff like that. Ask them how they feel about the whole situation, and I've gotten a slew of just all over the board of, well, I think this and I think that and I feel this and I feel that. And to me, they're completely, well within their rights to feel that way. Well within their rights to feel that way.
Yeah, the situation that's going on is pretty wild. But it's always so weird to me because a lot of people don't really care about that region. They didn't care about that region to begin with. 2 weeks ago, before all the situation happened, like no one was talking about it.
Yeah.
No one was talking about us still being there.
Mhm.
Us in the United States talking about wanting to be removed from that area and allow their communities to kind of build on their own without the United States, still being there. And I know the argument right now from a lot of normies are, well, it was 300 million that we were spending every day. Well, dude, you didn't carry in the first place. Like, how are you going to care now about the 300 million every day when it had been that way for the last 20 years? Last 20 years. I mean, since 9/11. Like, how is that an argument from anybody from 2 days ago with them not knowing like 4 weeks ago that it was 300 million every day that we were spending being over there? You get me? So like, for what it's worth, I believe that we all can come to terms and say the excommunication of the soldiers and the removal of the soldiers was done improperly like not through protocol, just through sheer wit. Like, all right, let's go. Everybody get in the car. Everybody get in the car. Let's go. Like, you know what I mean? And it wasn't a well thought out plan. And again, this is like with the situation with the virus. Like, someone has to answer for it. Like, if right now in your room, your wife was like, yo, keep your dog there. Don't let him get out because he likes to shit on the bed or whatever, or likes to shit on the couch. And you accidentally opened the door, the dog ran out and shit on the couch. You would be the person responsible for that.
Yeah.
Right? So right now, just on sheer common sense, we know the virus was created in a lab. We know someone fucked up and let that lab open up and get that virus out by accident. And someone's got to answer for that shit. That's like right now, like Trigger, you were in the military. If you were to fire a bullet without permission, what the fuck happens?
I go to jail.
Why?
Well, multitude of reasons. Let's say that fucking round hit somebody, and
without the option of it hitting anybody. Let's just say you fire a round, you're gonna get in trouble, right?
Well, if I ND a round, yes.
Let's just say you fire it. It doesn't hit nobody. Let's just say you fire it. What's the protocol about the bullet? What do they got to do? Yeah, what do they got to do for that bullet? They're gonna take purport. They're gonna fucking say what bullet was fired, what gun was fired. They're gonna compensate the idea of, hey man, you fired a round. That round cost the taxpayers of the United States fucking $1,000, and you're wasting taxpayers' money. Not only that, you're being irresponsible. You've heard this part of the conversation. When it comes to
and my argument, especially when I've ever heard that argument, and I know this is going to sound very callous, is I don't give a shit what it cost. That round, whether I ND'd it or not, is being used to save me and my people.
Oh, but I'm just talking about you fired a round just for
no. I know, and I get that. Yeah. You know, but like we're saying that, like, you know, I fired a round, right? Whether it be accidental or not, right? I ND a round, or you know, I do this, or you know, I just fire that round off just to fire it off. I know what I would do, you know, to get myself out of trouble. I'm not going to say it on, you know, yeah, but I know what I'm going to do, and the people around me are going to agree to it and just be like, "Yep, that happened."
Well, right now on the push out of the country, someone decided to leave $300 million worth of equipment.
Yeah.
So who answers for that when you have to answer for one bullet? You know what I mean?
To me, the fucking the Department of Defense.
That's crazy as fuck, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
where individuals would, if they were punished by the government, they would have to answer for the one bullet. But someone in the higher ups that gets a better paycheck and doesn't have to get shot at left $300 million worth of equipment.
Yep.
Guns, transportation, technology.
I don't know. My whole shtick about that is that, bro, we left fucking $300 million worth of equipment, and you won't let me have a full auto trigger. Go fuck yourself.
That's
you know that is the U.S. government for you. But whatever, man. I don't like talking about politics.
Yeah, I know. It's just
gets me all riled up. But I mean, I get, like, beforehand, I get why people are feeling the way that they are about certain, you know, aspects of the Afghanistan, you know, leave. Do I think that it was handled poorly? 100%.
100%.
Do I think that we just up and bounced?
Yep.
Yeah.
Which isn't the way it should be done.
Yeah.
Not the way it should be.
We didn't even do that in Vietnam.
Yep.
Somehow or another we did it now. But okay.
This just goes back to the idea of what I said earlier, where I just feel someone needs to be held responsible.
I agree.
Like someone needs to answer for their war crimes. But yeah, that's an off subject. We don't want to get into that too much. We talked enough about it. Fucking, that's a collector's item right there. The average boys talks a little bit of Afghanistan.
Right.
Right there. That should be the topic. Be nonetheless that you need to probably download this episode because that'll be pretty cool if you do. But going back, so recently we just got a lot of response for the first Shang Chi's reactions to the film. It's been a lot of positivity, but of course we have to take into consideration that right now Marvel is using a lot of YouTubers and a lot of content creators to promote the movies. Hence the reason why they're allowing such a really early red carpet release of the film. Because we're talking about the movie coming out September 3rd, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're still almost 10 days away from that date. 12 days, 13 days.
Yeah.
And then it showed last week, which was 14 to 15 days, which is a hell of a lot of time to tell a YouTuber, hey, man, you want to come and watch a film before it comes out? 15 days, these guys have to sit on that information without being able to make any type of spoiler content.
Well, I mean, content creators do that all the time. And, you look at a lot of tech,
but not on 15 days. You know what I mean?
Dude, like usually months.
Yeah.
Months.
I mean, for Marvel, I haven't heard it to be where it's like maybe like a 4-day, 5-day red carpet thing where they're doing it like literally right before the release of the film.
Yeah. Which I get, like you have embargoes, NDAs that you have to sign, which is cool, dude. But what I'm saying is that, like, I mean, content creators, I have no problem letting content creators do it, especially like tech content creators, the people who have to sign embargoes and, like NDAs. Like, okay, perfect example. Harris Heller of Alpha Gaming sat on the Wave XLR for like 3.5 months before he could even show it on camera, much less talk about it.
Yeah, because he was a tester, wasn't he?
It's not that he's a tester. He's also somebody who gives them information. Like they send him a product and they're like, hey, is this any good?
As a matter of fact,
it kind of sucks. This is why
Joshua Lopez gets to do that with a lot of band equipment.
Yeah, dude. And I'm sure, I guarantee you, he also signs NDAs, embargoes before he even releases them on fucking camera, much less talks about them.
Yeah, I get to see that type of stuff when it comes to like Treyarch Zombies. When Treyarch Zombies, like, they have a lot of YouTubers come in, and then the YouTubers end up making, to me, probably the stupidest fucking videos a human being can make, which is like a reaction video to like when they release a trailer for the video game. And then be like, oh my God, what do you guys think is going to happen? We're so excited. And then like 3 weeks later, they're like, hey guys, what's up? We've been working with Treyarch and we've been playing the game. And I'm like, why are you making fucking reaction trailers then, you fucking asshole? Like, the reaction trailers for us that haven't had the opportunity to see the game, much less fucking someone that's out there playing it for months. But the guy will still ingenuinely act like they cared and that it was like a crazy reaction. Which is why I made our disclaimer earlier. Guys, if the average boys ever gets invited to one of these events and you see me come out and you're like, oh man, guys, that was the most exciting movie, and I go wink, wink, you're going to know I'm talking full of shit. And the only reason why I'm doing it is because the company is baiting us to do it. And we have an NDA or an embargo that we've signed. And they want us to promote the movie for them because they are assholes and they don't want to promote the movies themselves. They don't want to put the money into the film.
I don't know.
With it being an experiment, I think it's Marvel's way of saying they didn't want to put a lot of money into the marketing. That's where I think they cut from. That's 100%. Because look, as a matter of fact,
we still have IGN. We still have all these other, we still have like a lot of other, like Machinima and all of them who are actually at the premiere, and they're gonna give their honest opinion of it,
Shout out to
regardless.
IGN. Remember, guys, if you need actual people that know comic books instead of the people you got to promote, Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that said that it sucked, and we were telling you it was amazing because it was great. IGN again, let us know. We'll let you know how to do that shit.
Right? Why don't you hire people who actually know your content, dude?
We see, well, like that's my opinion, right? So a lot of the people that I've seen go in for Shang-Chi have all casually said the same thing. Oh my God, man, this movie's amazing. The martial arts is great and blah, blah, blah. We 100% knew that because they literally hired almost the entire fucking original cast of all the latest, greatest Chinese wire fu movies that are out on the market. Like,
and I'm all for it, dude. Fuck yeah, dude. I mean, if
don't get me wrong,
if you're gonna give me action, especially martial arts action,
and you bring in the people that have been doing the wire fu Chinese style periodic movies in the last 10 years that have been knock them out of the park, and then you bring in the dude who made what is it, fucking Kung Fu Hustle, fucking the master from the Ip Man or whatever, the dude that's playing the Mandarin.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
He's the dude from fucking Kung Fu Soccer.
Yeah.
Like he made that dude is so fucking famous for being a director and a producer of martial arts films in the last 10 years. Like the dude is amazing. And you're going to bring him in and then say, guys, this is Marvel's first attempt at making a martial arts film. But you've been fucking jacking all their moves in the last fucking 10 years from all the Captain America films doing Kung Fu and all this other shit. Now you're just bringing in the real dudes. It's going to look amazing. It's going to look amazing. The fight scenes are going to look astronomical and it's going to be new. That's not what I'm afraid of. What I'm afraid of is Shang-Chi. Who the fuck cares?
Which I think is a like it's a reasonable concern, right? Because like when you told me that Shang-Chi, or like, I mean, because we both found out at the same time, right? But when you asked me on the podcast, how do I feel about Shang-Chi? That was my exact verbatim, my exact words.
Yeah, who the fuck cares?
Who the fuck cares? Who cares? Shang-Chi has like no good stories. The best thing coming out of Shang-Chi is that he teaches people how to fight better.
Yeah, he taught Spider-Man Spider Fu or whatever.
Yeah, and he worked with Captain America to make his shield work better.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the guy next to Taskmaster is just a teacher.
Yeah, like it's so crazy. It's so fucking crazy. So whatever, that,
dude. I mean, like if they want to fucking swing for the fences with Shang-Chi, fucking let them, dude. They have not gone wrong yet. Have they been underwhelming? Yes. Have they gone wrong on the other hand? No.
Yeah. I mean, the concept would be like you look at what they did with Carol Danvers and Captain Marvel, right?
Perfect.
Like that would be the shit end of the stick.
Yeah.
That's what I would consider like the lowest of the low in Marvel.
Yeah, and it's true. Like if we're gonna for me, the two weakest Marvel movies is Captain Marvel and Thor: The Dark World. I mean, it's
and Thor: The Dark World's director even came out and claimed that
he's done
bad. Yeah, he knew it was bad.
Yeah, he was like, all right, dude, yeah. But he's gotten so much shit from like the fan backlash that he's just like, yeah, dude, I mean, I don't have the heart to direct anymore. I mean, this guy's retiring now.
Yeah. So we're understandable of that, but Marvel as a company will still claim that Captain Marvel is one of the best movies that they got. Where the director of this other film is like, it sucks. I know. I'm sorry. I'm done. But they're still claiming Captain Marvel. Look at what they did with Captain Marvel itself. They brought the movie out sandwiched between Endgame and Infinity War. And then told Kevin Feige was like, "Oh man, dude, you don't even know Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers. She's the strongest Avenger, dude. She's gonna turn the tides, And she came out for 5 seconds and flew through a fucking spaceship. Who the fuck cares? Like they could have done that with they could have thrown Rocket through it. They could have introduced Nova.
I would have loved for them to have done that.
Dude, Trigger, you would have loved
I
it.
would have cried.
Yeah, you would have loved it and then been
bro.
like, why the fuck are you doing this now though? Like, why now for 15 seconds of the film? Like,
I could give a shit, dude. I'd
Richard
be like,
Rider just flies through that shit.
Richard Rider cannon, motherfucker! Woo!
Hey, Peter Parker, I'm Richard Rider. You know, fucking whatever the fuck stupid ass line this is. Like, that would have been the stupidest shit, man. They could have chosen Hyperion flies through the fucking ship. You know, fucking
boom, Hyperion confirmed.
Yeah, Uatu. Oh no, Blue Marvel just flies right through fucking Thanos' shit. Like all the Guardian dude from fucking the Shatari Empire, just with his mohawk, just flies through it. Just out of nowhere, you got the Guardian. Yeah. Like it's just one of those things. What the hell are you listening to, man? You keep clicking.
Dude, I'm sorry, man. It's my Facebook.
Like I don't know, man. It's just I feel very much like right now. Marvel is pulling a Captain Marvel with the Shang Chi movement. And I feel like they've given all of these creators and content creators the opportunity to come out. And they even told them, oh, talk about it, but don't give any spoilers, but talk about it. You know, promote it. And they're really out there promoting it. And then Marvel comes out and literally shits on Shang-Chi's popularity build with the drop of the Eternals trailer at 2 a.m. in the morning, mid red carpet. Did you not see how weird that drop of that trailer was? That right now they are trying their best to promote the fuck out of Shang-Chi. And out of nowhere at 2 in the morning, our time, Central Time, United States, Marvel drops the final trailer of the Eternals. And again, who the fuck cares about the Eternals? But boy, did they shit on DC really hard. Because that looks like a great Justice League movie.
Oh, yeah, dude.
So again, we've talked about this before, and I've said it a million times, that right now is the moment that Marvel needs to drop a DC-style movie. You know, the Squadron Supreme or something. But they did it with the Eternals, which is going to take a lot of piss out of DC's capes. They may lose a lot of money and bankrupt or do something. AT&T may sell. Disney may pick them up in the next couple of years. That's what I think. I think the Eternals shits on Justice League. But I feel very awkward, and this is very weird, that Marvel itself would release that trailer while promoting Shang-Chi. That's the only thing I'm saying.
I think they're just rolling with the hype, you know, just like, hey, we're just gonna, you know, do exactly what we tried doing, you know, 3 years ago and just keeping the fucking Marvel hype train going. You know, for a little while, you know, the pandemic was slowing down and now we have, you know, Delta variant and stuff like that coming up. But with that being said, I think they were just trying to get back to some sort of like normalcy with just constantly rolling out Marvel content, you know, because like we have drop after drop after drop after release after leak after release after leak, you know, it's just one big, you know, like hype train for everything Marvel. And I think the way that you're feeling and the way that I'm feeling is the exact desired like effect that they're going for. Is the fact that you're talking about us is exactly what we want. We want the word of mouth to happen because somebody's going to hear me and be like, that's the best fucking thing since sliced bread. I have to have it. You know, is it going to be my audience? Who the fuck knows? Is it going to be someone else's audience? Possibly. But nonetheless, I think that exact desired effect is, you know, there. And, you know, we're kind of like in the cusp of like the fact that we're seeing a lot more Marvel movies, you know, and a lot more Marvel projects start to, you know, come out, and, you know, we're just eating it up, dude. I mean, we're like, you know, barely into What If. We're barely, you know, like not even a quarter into What If.
And everybody's fucking about that shit.
Yeah, and everybody's in it. Shang Chi just had its red carpet release, and everybody's talking about Shang Chi. Eternals just dropped its final trailer, and everyone's doing fucking reviews and backstories to the Eternals and Eternal this, Eternal that. You know, I mean, the hype train is there. And right now, you know, Kevin Feige and all those people at Disney are there just riding the hype train.
But yeah, but the thing is like the reason why I say that I kind of feel weird about the way that they dropped the Shang-Chi, or not the Shang-Chi trailer, but the Eternal trailer, is because of the fact that the talk was, oh man, Shang-Chi. Oh man, Shang-Chi. Red carpet, Shang-Chi. Everyone was out there. And right now, I kind of feel like a lot more people are not talking about Shang-Chi. They're talking about the Eternals. Because when that trailer got released, a lot of people were still very up in the air, and a lot of normies were making this like, oh my God, I can't wait to see Icarus or whatever, and not know what the fuck the Eternals are about still because they don't read the content, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now that they released this trailer, you at least know that Marvel has taken it in a way to kind of prevent it or present it to be almost like a Justice League. So now even people who have never read the material are at least going to go into it and be like, oh, that's like their Superman. Oh, that's like their Wonder Woman. Oh, that's like their this. That's like their Flash. That's like their this. There's like their Flash. And it all shows in the trailer. Everybody's powers show. Like from it being where a couple of weeks ago they weren't showing jack shit about the Eternals. We didn't even know what the Deviants were going to look like. And to this one being like, they literally show like the general of the Deviants and Athena being like a thing, which is like a huge part of the
Eternals mythos, yeah.
Yeah, like that was big already. It kind of makes you wonder, like, well, what the fuck are they gonna put in the movie if they've already shown this part? They even literally showed the part where in the newer runs, which is I think what's the guy that wrote Time Runs Out? This guy from Marvel, the director, the guy that wrote Avengers Time's Run Out or whatever, Battle World and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Jason Aaron? No, not Jason Aaron. Jason Aaron's from Thor.
One second, let me pull it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you already know who the fuck I'm talking about. You already know who the fuck I'm talking about, Trigger. Get out of your library.
I want to say it's Jeff. I'm sorry, it's not Jeff Johns.
No, it's not Jeff Johns.
No.
It would be the guy that made the Fantastic Four. Marvel Time Runs Out. Marvel Time Runs Out. Blah 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 blah. Hickman.
Yes.
Yeah, Hickman. In the Hickman story of the Eternals, there is this really interesting part where what's his face? Fuck, I forgot his name. What's the fucking dude's name? The fucking main guy? That Artemis.
What's fucking main Icarus?
Icarus, yeah, there you go. Man, I'm telling you, I don't even care about these characters. They're so stupid. Icarus kind of goes up to this fucking shoreline where there's like these cavemen, and he's like, "Let me know or light the light, and I'll come and stop the monsters from coming."
Oh,
and, yeah, and he fucking leaves the guy there for a million years, and the whole fucking the generation of him dies, and his kids are there, and the fucking people are all like, "Hey, dude, you're a piece of shit! Like, you made my dad stay here. He wasn't even my father." And he's like, "Oh man, like, I'm sorry, it's because I'm immortal and I can't tell the difference," or whatever the fuck Icarus says.
Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, dude, I'm sure that guy took a nap.
Yeah, which 100% was me in the comments, or like when I was reacting to the trailer, I was really excited. But when Salma Hayek and Icarus were talking to each other, and Salma Hayek's like, "Yeah, man, some shit's gonna happen," and Icarus is like, "How long do we have?" And she's like, 7 days. I was like, "How the fuck are you guys gonna stop this? 7 days is like 4 seconds for you guys." Like that, it's gonna be like a blink of an eye. You're gonna be like, "Ah, fuck, we missed it." It was like, how many days was it again? And I can't tell. I'm fucking eternal. I'm a fucking immortal. I can't tell time or whatever. Which goes off of that stupid comic book that came out the other day for Captain America and Thor.
Oh,
they had just fucking fought the Black King. They had just fought Null, and Thor was all like, "Hey, Captain, like, it's been a long time. How long has it been since I've seen you?" Captain America was like, "Bro, we just fought Null last week. Like everything was covered in black shit and everybody was dead. Like, what do you mean I haven't seen you in a long time? And they only saw each other like a couple like weeks ago. And
Bro, I'm
fucking
fucked up, dude. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
Thor was like, I'm sorry, but time's different for immortals. And I was like, dude, that's a great perception to put in a comic book because we don't look at it like that. But now that the Eternals are hit with the, oh man, we got to stop this in 7 days. I'm like, yeah, they failed. They failed completely. Like
I'm not
they've already
gonna I'm
failed
not gonna
before it
call that a
started.
fail. I'm not gonna call that a fail because like I'm not gonna dude, like I can't be like a huge comic book Nazi about it because like
I know, like I'm not trying to say, but like in my opinion, that was such a good point of view that Marvel had made, which I had never seen from that kind of point of view before. And then when Marvel uses the same shit in the movies and they're like 6 days, 5 days, 4 days, I'm like, well, who the fuck? What is that to these dudes, man? Like, that's like not even a nap. That's like a blink of an eye, and the fucking centuries gone by. So I was like, 7 days ain't gonna be. It's gonna be weird as fuck. The next 7 days are gonna be weird, man. It's gonna be weird for these guys. The Eternals trailer dropped. Of course, during the rise of course, the popularity in Shang Chi, everybody excited to see Abomination fighting Wong and all this other stuff. Apparently, there is a really great post credit scene that a lot of people are kind of excited for. That a lot of people that went to go see it are claiming that it's amazing. I think they're full of shit. I don't think it's going to be amazing. I literally think it's probably going to be like some kind of like Tony Starkish goes and meets Spider-Man. So someone goes to meet Shang-Chi and be like, hey man, you need to be in the Avengers because you know how to do martial arts. Like, cause that's about all I think Shang-Chi can do, because I don't know what else he does. You know who Shang-Chi is? He's Rock Lee or Guy.
Yeah, but Guy fucking took down Madara by himself. So
Yeah, after he destroyed his whole body and he like
yeah.
I mean, you give him some nunchucks though, he's amazing.
Hey man, I'm just saying, bro. Like, homie was like, bro, I see that you got jutsus, cuh, but
Oh
or,
yeah, yeah. Open the
but you
gate,
know,
bro. Open the
but these
gate.
hands are rated E for everybody.
Open the gate, son.
Yeah, I'm ready, cuh.
So it's very interesting. I don't know what Shang-Chi would have done to Thanos.
No
You know
shit.
what I mean? Like, yeah, yeah. I'm a
The
black belt in
same
kung
fucking
fu.
thing that Captain America did to Thanos.
Yeah,
Not shit.
yeah.
The
Pretty much
same
just
thing
the
that
guy.
fucking Black Widow did to Thanos. Not shit.
Yeah, more than likely, Robert. More than likely. I would say like 90-10% that we're probably gonna go see Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna go to the theater and watch it. Like 100%, we'll probably go watch it. Why am I gonna go watch Shang-Chi? It's not even about the fact that it's Shang-Chi. It's about the fact that it's a martial arts movies in theaters.
For me, I just want to see how it sets up the rest of the Marvel universe.
I don't even care about that. Like, it doesn't even interest me how Shang-Chi's gonna like start the fucking MCU. It literally.
I mean, I don't think he's gonna start shit. I just want
No,
to
they already
see how.
said that
I just want to see
the
like.
movie that starts it.
Fuck
It's Kevin
that, dude.
Feige. Kevin Feige literally came out in an interview and he's like, someone was like, so where does this take the what does this do for the future of the phase and where are we going? And he's like, this is the phase. Like it's already started. So I was like, oh man, that experiment's already started to fuck up, huh? Not how you intended it to go. But yeah, like apparently the ending of the film brings in this, in my opinion, is probably going to be a Tony Stark meets with Peter Parker, like, hey man, I'd really like you to join the team, kind of moment. But of course, like Captain America is not there. So maybe two options. One, Nick Fury finds the coolest martial arts guy on the planet to ask him to join the Avengers. Right. So if you can fly, build a suit of technology, be a 120 something year old super soldier, or if you're really good at kung fu, like you can be in our squad. Or it's Captain Falcon, right? Captain America, the new one, which congratulations to Anthony Mackie. I don't know if he's watching the show. I doubt it.
Right.
Congratulations.
Comes down on the chat, and he's like, bro, I watch you guys every week.
Every week, man. I got to know my comic books. Congratulations to him on signing his contract for his Captain America movie. I hope to God I hope to God, because I will hate Marvel for the rest of its life, that they do not make Civil War 2. That's the only
Oh
thing.
my
That's
god, dude.
right there, dude. I'm gonna pull a trigger, and I'm gonna say this will break me. This will break me if they make Captain America, Falcon, Civil War 2. I will veto everything Marvel does for the rest of its fucking life, rest of my life at least. So congratulations, Anthony Mackie.
That's
Let's
fair.
not let them fuck you.
Yeah, that's fair. If they did
Yeah.
that, I would be like, I'm done. I'm done.
What were we saying before that? We were saying yes, 100% we're probably gonna go watch the movie. It's probably gonna be like a Captain Falcon going at the end and asking him to join the Avengers, or old man Steve Rogers asking him to join the Secret Avengers, which is going to be Agents of Atlas. Why Agents of Atlas? I don't know, because I'm fucking stupid. I don't even know I'm reaching that hard. But
yeah, I was like,
but it's just like, okay,
okay.
so we know comic book wise, casually, if we're following like a timeline a little bit to the universe, right now in the comic books is when Captain America makes the Secret Avengers. Right after he becomes old, he makes the Secret Avengers, which is, you know, like Hawkeye, Black Widow, a lot of the people who don't have powers. And if I'm not mistaken, I want to say that Shang Chi was a part of it. And if it wasn't Shang Chi, it was the martial arts Iron Fist, who people actually liked. So they just now just grabbing a martial artist. But recently in comic books, they started a all Asian team called Agents of Atlas, and it was picking up some slack a little bit. It was picking up some attention because they had some interesting characters in it, including Amadeus Cho, which his sister's already been introduced in the comics or in the films. You remember that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Age of Ultron. And they are now talking about doing the She-Hulk series, which I guarantee they're probably going to bring Amadeus Cho in soon.
Yeah, they would almost have to.
Yeah. Are we going to get a World War Hulk movie? No, but we're probably going to get a World War She-Hulk movie.
Yeah.
Which I am not excited for. And again, I will probably say I will not watch that shit because that's not what this is about.
Bro, we're going to get Winter Hulk, dude. Watch.
Stop.
Stop. Well, you gotta say such horrible things.
You know what I actually think, and this is something that I'm gonna just kind of take a whim at. I think Shang Chi and the Eternals and the idea of Kevin Feige's talking about how he really is excited to do like a Secret Wars or something. I think this is just my opinion on how everything's coming around. Kang is not the official endgame character for the Marvel Universe. He will be more like the Infinity War to the Age of Ultron style character. He'll be more of an Avengers villain, not a Infinity Wars, Infinity Gauntlet arc story.
The way that they hyped him, I would be very disappointed if that was the case.
Well, the thing is this goes back to the idea of he's supposed to be an Ant-Man Quantumania.
Yeah.
What the fuck is Ant-Man going to do to him? Like, just lo and behold, like what can the Wasp and Ant-Man as two character heroes do to Kang?
Not shit, but you know, I really think that that's kind of like where it's going to be like, oh, this is an Avengers level threat, and you know, they're gonna
I think it'll be an Avengers style threat.
Yeah,
which makes a lot of sense on how you can use Kang, but I don't see Kang as being an end game villain like Thanos.
I still do. I still do. He has all of the makings to do it.
For me, what I see happening is I see, since the introduction of Shang-Chi this late in the game and his character being so weird, we know that AIM from Iron Man 3 was working with someone in the cosmos because they had a extremist version of the universe, right? So we know that AIM's been working with space and all this other stuff. And they were connected to Roxxon because the Mandarin ended up shooting a dude in Iron Man 3 who worked with Roxxon. So you see all these weird little connections between a lot of the science divisions. And then plus we have Armor War coming in soon. So we know that they're probably going to bring that dude back from Iron Man 2.
Justin Hammer.
Hammer. Yeah. They're probably going to bring him back and a lot of the dudes from that because they need to build the mythos of Iron Man again. That's the weakest. in my opinion, the weakest superhero story was Iron Man because it lacked its villains. It lacked its true villains in the series. So my thing,
I'm not gonna say that it lacked its villains. I'm gonna say that it fucked up its major villains.
yeah, well, yeah, that's why. Like, everybody else got this respectable villain aspect, and Iron Man just got a shit on tremendously, except for Ironmonger, except for the first film. All the other films, Whiplash, shit on. Fucking the Mandarin, completely shit on, completely shit on. But the Extremis story was not too bad. I think in the Shang Chi story, including we're gonna find out some way that the 10 rings were created in space or some alien technology or some shit. But the reason why they're bringing in this kind of like martial arts, they're probably going to do it like a tournament because apparently the script for the Shang-Chi film is very much based on the end of what is it? Enter the Dragon movie from Bruce Lee. So it's very much in that platform, which I mean, I mean, it's a martial arts film. We didn't see anything else really happening. It wasn't going to be like Schindler's List, but fucking kung fu. Like we're not looking for a drama-esque martial arts film. But I think that with the introduction of Shang-Chi, they're going to do later on a contest of champions, which is going to build into a secret war. And I think those are going to be the last two, Infinity and Endgame.
Well, I mean, if they want to do if they want to do Secret Wars, then like.
But you see that, right? Like you see what I'm talking about, where like Shang-Chi being the tournament martial arts building thing, and then later on they bring back the Collector and the Grandmaster because they shit on those characters hard in the Marvel universe. The Grandmaster, dude, like being that he's like 70 billion years old and that he's one of the oldest like characters, cosmic entities, and then they turned him into fucking Uncle Weirdo. What's that dude's name from Jurassic Park? Fucking the guy that played the fucking Grandmaster in Thor Ragnarok.
Well, yeah, I mean Jeff Goldblum, but
yeah, Jeff Goldblum was just Jeff Goldblum. You wouldn't assume that he was like 7 billion years old. You wouldn't assume that he was like a cosmic royalty and like almost like like an eternal in his own right.
I don't know, but I don't always expect grandiose everything. I don't always expect that, and the reason being is because like not everything, and I've said this multiple times, and especially on this channel, we can't always just be balls to the wall with everything, right? Mm-hmm. We have to have a new build up, right? Infinity War and Endgame took 3 phases. 3 phases.
I don't think it'll take that long this year. I don't think it'll. I think this will all be done in like 6 years, and then they'll do some kind of reboot.
Who knows? I mean, this very well could be a reboot in itself, but we don't know that yet. We still have Fantastic Four coming at the end of like 2024 or whatever. We still have Secret Invasion to do. We still have Armor Wars. We still have Ironheart. We still have, She-Hulk. We have all of these other projects, Moon Knight, and all these street level and cosmics and everybody in between, right?
Well, we know for sure that Marvel wants to build the cosmic entities, right? They want to build the cosmic landscape. That was their whole thing about the next phase.
Yeah, which is cool, which is fine. I'm all for it. But at the same time, we know that they're going to start doing street level again because we have Black Widow and the post credit scene with that.
Mm-hmm. But those I think those are. I
personally think that's probably going to get wrapped up in the Hawkeye show anyway. Or the Kate Bishop show anyway, and then may roll over into some more movies.
Yeah,
who knows?
I just feel like a lot of the street level characters are going to be more Disney Plus shows, but I do feel that there's been a lot of attention, including Kevin Feige recently dropping the information that they are interested in doing Secret Wars. They actually contacted the comic creator of Secret Wars, and he's already signed his NDA that he can't talk about it anymore. So they're kind of like, you kind of feel like that's kind of like the next go of where it's pushing. But Secret Wars, we talked about this before too. I think it's going to be amalgamation of both Secret Wars, and I don't think they're going to do Battle World.
I don't
Like,
think they. I
yeah, because
really, yeah,
the only way that they could pull off a really good Battle World is if something like this What If series, if it flies off the fucking market, like if it flies off the shelves and everyone loves it. For what it's worth, the What If show has been going pretty good. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Um, but I feel that the birth of the What If series, and this is what I talked about before, and even for you, it was very it wasn't like awe-inspiring because you felt like it wasn't going to do it, but I knew they were going to go with the What If to be canon because I want to say that I could see that the company is trying to build all these different variations of all the characters, kind of like the way they did in the 50s where they were just like throwing names of characters out in there and like, ooh, let's do this and let's do that and let's do this and let's do that. Because they're going to build into creating a community of characters for the later game of like, let's bring all of these like interesting characters together that everybody loves. And then let's pit them against some villains and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So like you have your Peggy Carter, who just got brought back as Captain Carter, who everybody is speculating to be Captain Britain or the birth of the Britain Corps, right?
mm-hmm.
So if the popularity of the character grows, we know that in the timeline right now in the What If series, she is now in the modern time because she got transferred into the later series or into the later, which sets up very nicely for when Loki makes his appearance in the universe. Because Loki makes his appearance in the first Avengers movie, which is right where Peggy Carter's character came in, which was Loki's entrance. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So Captain America, remember, he came out of the ice because they found him or whatnot. Loki's the one that got teleported through the Tesseract. But now we have it where Peggy Carter came through the Tesseract. So she's there right before and Avengers 1, which is right now. We know that there's a What If episode coming up where Loki, I think it's the next one actually, where Loki actually comes to Earth as the son of Asgard. So it'll be it's going to be interesting how it all builds up. And it just so happens that in the last episode, if you saw it, Marvel's What If, we saw that Thanos was a member of the Ravagers, right? And he was working alongside T'Challa. But who was not in the episode? Gamora. Because we saw Gamora in the trailer of What If being Thanos in Endgame, wearing his armor and having his sword. So in that universe, I believe that she is the Thanos. And Thanos is now a Ravager. He's like a good guy. Gamora is the evil one. That's just speculation. I'm just trying to put all the episodes together in some weird way, trying to tie them in, which is fucking difficult as hell. But I feel like they're trying to build these characters for a later ensemble because they've already talked about how they want to bring back Peggy Carter as this character in Doctor Strange. So apparently Peggy Carter's character, and that has been rumored for a long fucking time, that Harley Atwell is going to make an appearance in the Doctor Strange film, but she is not going to be Peggy Carter. She's supposed to be someone else. So there is a huge theory right now, bigger than it was before, that she's going to be coming in not as the Exiles Captain America, but as the What If Captain Britain. Which, I mean, I'm 100% for, because the What If kind of like comes in as like those tie-in comic books, right? When we were younger, when we would read like a big arc and then like in the background, we would see like a random character from like some tie-in. And we were like, oh shit, that's that character from that other comic book. That's so cool. That was like when you would read like Spawn and you would see like Savage Dragon in the background. You know what I mean? We do know that in Secret Wars, in the original one, I believe Kang was a villain. Was Kang was in it, wasn't he? In Secret Wars in the 70s?
He might have been, but he wasn't a huge like deal with it.
No, but then again, like,
because that was more of a Fantastic Four based thing.
yeah,
and
because
then
they
it
were trying
turned
to sell
into
the
like
toy
an
lines and
Avengers
shit.
thing.
Yeah, because it was more like they wanted to build the characters for like the toys, if I'm not mistaken. They literally built Secret Wars, the comic book from the 70s and the 80s and shit or whatever it was for the toy line that they were coming out with at the time. So like it was literally a promotional a comic book series to promote the toys. So like it was literally based on just promoting those characters to make money. I could see Marvel being like, "Hey man, well if that's the case, we can turn Secret Wars into a film and make money. We can make some money like that we did back in the day." But I don't know, like I just kind of get this vibe that like I could see Secret Wars being the big buildup for the ending of the movie. The instead of them having it to where they have a bunch of like actors there from all the different franchises, they just bring all the direct actors that will be on that planet and put them on another planet away from like everyday civilians. They don't need like to have like all of New York surrounded by people and have a bunch of extras. They could have it just the main actors on this planet trying to defeat each other. And by that time, hopefully, we'll have a Doctor Doom. We'll get introduced to a Galactus because hopefully, Fantastic Four brings in a Galactus in some way. Um, and it'll introduce us to the Beyonder. I think that's going to be a more interesting character to bring in, the Beyonder, because like out of all the characters that Marvel has been bringing in the last couple of years, every one of them has like a weird purpose in the world. Like for what it's worth, right? Even Jeff Goldblum's like grandmaster was like, guys, I'm the president of this place. I created my contest of champions, and oh, that's why. Fuck. I take it back then. They've already introduced the contest of champions with that. Yeah, because in Thor Ragnarok, he called it his contest of champions, right?
I mean, he calls it his contest, and then he calls the Hulk his champion. I mean, you could reach and be like, "Oh, well, that's the contest of champions, right?"
Yeah.
But and he does collect essentially.
I mean, yeah, because I mean, they're just trying like, to. That was them smothering Planet Hulk in the contest of champions, which is so stupid, dude.
Yeah, such so that's why, like, honestly, all I'm hearing is just grasping at straws and wanting to like make.
Oh man, it's way too early to theorize what's going to be the ending of the phase. We're barely touching on the footsteps of barely phase 3 or phase 4 right now.
Yeah, so I mean, like this. Yeah, so this isn't even like I said, man. And like I don't mean to sound insensitive, but like this is purely grasping at straws. Mm-hmm. And like, bro, we haven't even really been introduced to phase 4.
Yeah, of course.
So that's why that's why I'm kind of just like, bro, I just want to see how fucking things build up, and from the build up I can put together a better picture instead of like, well, this is what I was given 6 months ago and I'm going to try and make a picture from incomplete items.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, for right now, what we know, there's a lot of great reviews that are coming out for Shang-Chi already. Per se, I haven't heard them really dictate that this is a great film for the next step of what Marvel is gonna do. But then again, that's basing it on the latest off of Endgame, off of that hype when it comes to the films. It's a little different from when it comes to what you expect from the Disney Plus series, which have been pretty amazing nonetheless. But Shang-Chi, since it's a film, you're going to represent it to be one of the films and you're going to compare it to the films. And I don't know if I could ever say that I want to put a Shang-Chi movie style film up against what had already been produced, which was like Endgame. I don't think it'll be at that scale. So it's very hard to be like, we have this big climax and then let's bring it back to this. And then let's build to another arc, right?
See, and that's exactly what I want to happen. I don't want to have constant. I just had Endgame. Give me another Endgame. Yeah. Give me 50 more Endgames.
Yeah.
No, dude. No.
No, you gotta take it back.
You have to reel back.
Yeah, you gotta take it back.
You have to build your audience back up to the hype of the Endgame, the hype of the Infinity War. You gotta put together your whole the best way to put it, dude. You don't just throw noodles, ragu and ground beef together and call it spaghetti. You got to get all the fucking, all your ingredients prepared. before you put them all together and you call it spaghetti.
This is something that I really hope for, and that I hope that they fix in the movies, that they don't do like the way they do in the films. This is 100% what I've always talked about, is the fact that there's always some catastrophic event happening the next day. Like, that's what I feel so horrible about the humanity that's in the comic books.
Fuck the humanity in the comic books.
Dude, like the other day it was War of the Realms, right? And then right after that, it was fucking Return of the King in Black. Or no, it was the Venom symbiote story without Null. And then Null was coming to Earth. And then Null came to Earth. And then, you know, it's like every week, man. Every week they're like, you can't even go to the store and buy milk. Look at what's going on with us. Like, we have the coronavirus and all this shit. We're fucking scared sitting in our houses. These dudes are like, yo, they just dealt with the snap. And then fucking 5 years later, like, they bring everybody back, and at that moment, a giant fucking spaceship appears right over Avengers Tower and fucking lays decimate the whole fucking environment with a spaceship that just like shot everything. And then this bitch came out of space and flew right through the middle of the spaceship. Sick. Like, if you were in the middle of New York and you can see that shit at a distance, you'd be like, why the fuck did you wish me back? Wish me back after. I don't want to see this stuff. I've just been away for 5 years. Like, I don't want to see this crazy ass shit. And now the Eternals,
in their defense, they thought that everything was cool. They weren't exactly, tracking that they were gonna have fucking Thanos come through and be like, "What's up, bruh?" And then
I've been asleep for 5 years. I just remember being in the fucking forest getting my ass kicked by Thanos. Where are we at now?
Exactly. So I mean, like, I'm really gonna say, like, I'm sure the populace didn't know, or the Avengers didn't know that, like, bro, maybe we should prepare some defenses a little bit more because Thanos is coming as well.
Yeah, no shit.
They do the snap, everyone's back, and they're like, dude, sick, we brought everyone back. Let me answer this phone call. Bam! And I was like, oh shit.
Yo, and then now you have the Eternals fucking trailer that, like, Salma Hayek's like, oh man, it's time, dude. The Eternals are coming back, man. And they show that one thing where that meteor hits the planet and there's just like fucking tidal waves. That's supposed to be in 7 days. 7 days from what? I hope they just didn't get snapped back like last week. Give these guys a fucking 2 weeks notice or something. Are you gonna decimate the planet? Oh, fuck those guys, dude. They gotta be on their toes. They gotta be on their toes, man. Welcome Earth to the fucking universe.
Welcome to life, guy.
Yeah, in the fucking cinematic. I just don't want it to be that way because the comic books are so, like, every week some shit's going down. It's like 1 week, like, it was Thor, like the whole fucking planet's getting torn down. Then the next week it was fucking Venom and Carnage, and then it was Null, and then it was fucking Moon Knight, and then it was the fucking Phoenix fucking giving everybody the Phoenix powers, and then fucking Mephisto came in and gave fucking Agent Coulson a fucking Infinity Stone that fucking turned the entire world into Hyperion's planet. And it's like, stop, dude. Like, let me get some fucking eggs and let me fucking buy some toilet paper and chill the fuck out without, needing to be in my bomb shelter for 20 minutes, dude. Like, fucking leave me alone, man. The one that's super funny is, like, have you seen that meme where it's like the chick's like all sad and shit, and she's like, when Superman's using your car to kick the villain's ass and you're still making payments. And I'm like, that's it. That is it. That is the fucking straight up most gangsterish shit I've ever heard about comic book writing. It's like when he's using the car that you're still making payments on to kick the villain's ass because you want Superman to win, but you're still making payments on that car that you haven't paid off.
Bro, it's okay. Fucking Bruce Wayne, he's gonna be like, I paid it. Don't worry.
Bruce Wayne ain't gonna buy that shit. He'll buy it for Superman. He'll buy the whole bag for Superman.
Bro,
but you ain't that cool. Would. Yeah, you ain't his fucking, you ain't his dude, you ain't his man crush Monday.
Hey man, maybe I am, dude. You don't know that.
Dude, that's gotta be like, man, I hope to God.
That is the most random fucking concern I've ever heard. I get it, but it's just the most random shit ever. And I would be like, I don't know. Like, for me, the meme that I'm seeing right now is the fucking Dave Chappelle. Because fuck him, that's why.
Fuck him, that's why. Because fuck him, that's fine. No, dude, straight up. Dude, I was just watching Iron Man 3, and the reason why I'm watching Iron Man 3 is to go back and see the Mandarin stuff, right? See if there's anything that's a little extra in there. And bro, literally from Iron Man going through a wormhole in New York City to like this random fucking dude in the middle of this Canuck in the middle of like Afghanistan that's fucking talking shit to Tony Stark, and then Tony Stark's like, yo, my house address. And then the dude comes with 2 helicopters and fucks his world up, dude. And then he lands in like the middle of Tennessee. And I was like, yo, dude, when that guy was getting his fucking house torn up by 2 helicopters that are in American airspace, where the fuck was S.H.I.E.L.D.? Like, where the fuck was S.H.I.E.L.D. to be like, yo, bro, like, those 2 helicopters are in airspace of America illegally. You better stop. Plus, they got rockets. Like, we got to react to this shit firsthand, don't we? Like, how did they let that shit happen after the New York City shit? Like, it's just like, it's got to be the question, which is the question I asked in the Eternals, and the fucking trailer decided to answer it instead of us wait for the movie. Where the fuck were you guys? Where the fuck were you guys when this was happening? They asked fucking the person, or what's the fucking dude from Game of Thrones asked that chick.
Oh yeah, man, what the fuck were you guys?
Yeah, where were you guys during Thanos and all that shit? And then they were just like, we were told we couldn't intervene unless deviants were in charge. Involved. And I was like, dude, what? It's a lame ass excuse, boy. That means you can't go buy ice cream unless deviants are there, because that means you're intervening because you're walking through fucking society. Like, what the fuck? What do you mean? Okay, I'll tell you what, even different. Like, Thanos has a deviant gene. He's 100% a deviant, or at least partially a deviant. You should 100% intervene, right?
I mean, in the comics, he is. But, you know, like, because, I mean, Rob Jefferson was actually talking about that. And, you know, he was like, I mean, the Eternals go against the Eternals go against the Celestials, you know, wishes all the time. Yeah, why they didn't do anything about it is beyond me. But whatever.
Yeah, Sprite literally fucks the entire fucking Eternals up in like the middle comic book that they had like in the 90s. Sprite literally like fucking removes everybody's memories and all this shit and tries to, just because she wants to re-involve the sleeping Celestial, like re-bring him back. And I'm like, bro, I can guarantee the Celestials weren't happy about this shit, but they didn't do jack shit anyways.
There you go, dude.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
She did it for the lulz.
I don't know. I just don't want it to be where like there's constant threatening situations and only one Avenger is dealing with it. Like, I don't want that anymore. I'm so tired of that. Like, make it a little squad, or like maybe 2 team up, like a little crossover, but like don't make it about one-on-one anymore shit. Like, that's just, I don't know. That's my opinion. I mean, the Eternals, they're bringing in Black Knight, which is a good character, which is, again, kind of giving this kind of like momentum of them bringing in the Captain Britain Corps. But the Eternals, man, like going back to the talk of the Eternals, like it looked fucking great.
Yeah, dude.
It looked really fucking great. We were talking about it.
And then Crow, dude.
Yeah, the general deviant that's there with Thena.
Yeah.
So in the trailer of Eternals, if you guys have seen it, there's a part where Angelina Jolie's character's being all like
real
anime fucking tentacle touched.
Yeah,
by this really weird looking alien with like 4 eyes, very biblical looking, man. Where like they just look very like this character has like 4 eyes, and the 4 eyes wrap around his head, and his muscles are just like a man, but his muscles are on the out. And it's like, what the fuck? This is like biblical descriptions. Like when they're trying to explain what angels look like. Like the thing just looked very weird looking at it, but it looked great though. It looked really, really cool for like a villain. So Thena, even though she's an Eternal and a natural born enemy of a deviant, she has a tendency to the up. Yeah, she has a tendency to date deviants.
Well, that one in particular.
Well, that one in particular, yeah. Because not only that, if I'm not mistaken, like Crow, the character himself is like a shapeshifter, and he's like a
Oh,
deviant with like eternal genes, like almost like Thanos, but he can shapeshift. And that's why he ends up changing himself into like this human form.
I mean, yeah, he has a human form. Um, yeah, because I mean, like he's yeah, dude, he's been like all over the fucking place,
Yeah, but
especially when it
fucking
comes.
Athena will wipe his ass out in a heartbeat. She ain't give a fuck.
Yeah.
She's cold as shit, man. But man, I like her little Wonder Woman spin around killing deviants shit.
Oh, dude, I thought that was so lame, but that's just me
But
being.
that's what like I'm telling you, like it almost looks like Marvel is trying to make it look more DC-ish. But then again, we can't take it in that sense because it was the director that wants to go in that direction.
Yeah.
You know what I
So
mean?
I mean,
So
like things are the way that they are. Whatever. You know, the Eternals movie, I think is just we just gotta see it. Just gotta see it. Let's see how it plays out. You know,
I
because
mean,
it's gonna be one of those things where like we're gonna make all these theories and we're probably gonna be fucking wrong.
yeah, because I kind of feel like I can't really make a lot of theories about the Eternals
Because there's very
because
little
those
fucking
characters
source
don't make a lot
material
of
to talk
fucking sense
about.
to me in the first place. Like to me, those characters don't make a lot of sense to me in the first place. Like I don't even know why they're introducing them, to tell you the truth. Like I can't I tried to theorize in my head or like put together a lot of like the P's and Q's on how they can bring in the X-Men with the Eternals and blah blah blah. And I'm kind of like, man, dude, you have a better chance of just making up some random shit to bring in the X-Men. Now that you have time travel and multiverse shit, like you don't
I
need
don't
the
know.
Eternals.
I would say that you should probably listen to Rob's Geek Culture Explained. I think he breaks it down pretty well with the whole like hey, I think this is like what they could have been doing or this is what they might be doing and stuff like that.
Yeah, but that's just
Like
reaching, man.
no, I mean granted, he does. Like, he loves to reach.
Yeah.
Like he's said on multiple occasions that he just loves to reach because like that's his thing. But with some of the things that he doesn't reach on and he gives you like some real hard facts about like source material and stuff like that, you kind of like scratch your head and you're like, well, maybe,
Man.
but then again, he has said some very outlandish shit, when it
Yeah.
comes to like, oh man, the Eternals could introduce this way. And I'm like, could they though?
Hmm? Could they?
Yeah.
Could they though? Uh yeah, for what it's worth, I'm really I don't know. I'm still up in the air. I'm not really like a big fan. I thought the trailer was pretty good. It kind of got me a little bit more interested, not excited. I guess that's the easiest way to put it. Interested, not excited.
Fair enough.
Same thing with Shang-Chi. Like, there's really nothing about Shang-Chi that I'm like, I have to go watch it, other than the fact that it's just got martial arts in it. Like, that's
Yeah.
the only
I
thing I
think,
care about.
I mean, I kind of have the same thing. I'm not like over the moon for Shang-Chi,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I'm not going to like discount the movie
Oh, no, not at
because
all.
I think it's weak or stupid or anything
Well,
like
like we
that.
said, like Marvel doesn't have a lot of misses, so it's not like it's going to be a bad movie.
And even their misses are fucking great.
Yeah.
Like I mean, they really are. Thor: The Dark World and Captain Marvel. They're still really good movies. Are they the best Marvel movies though?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Comparing them to the franchise itself, like that's what it becomes hard. But can you sit down and watch Thor Dark Elves or whatever? Yeah.
Yeah.
You sit down and watch it. I enjoy it. I have a little bit of fun. Like I think the characters
And
are
then
all
I
pretty
would
well
and
written.
then I would get up to go make spaghetti or something like that
Yeah.
because it's just going to be
Yeah,
a
just to have it
background movie.
playing. Yeah,
Yeah.
just have it playing. But yeah, like you said, like it's just something like that. It's not bad. It's just that comparing it to itself, like as a entity, like it doesn't stay up with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. For what it's worth, the Eternals looks great. Fucking Shang-Chi, I don't know how to really take it, but I think it looks pretty cool. I think I'm pretty excited to check it out, especially the martial arts. Like for what it's worth, like I said before, the trailer like really puts some interesting martial arts shots. And then with some of the trailers that have been dropping recently for Shang-Chi, like they've been showing a little bit more of the fight scenes and stuff. It looks great. It looks fantastic. Looks fantastic. I don't know how it's all gonna play together, but none of us do. And we can take into speculation how we theorize where it's gonna go. But we'll just have to wait until it comes out, which is 2 weeks away, which is not even that far away. And I'm super excited to check it out. And so I know Trigger is too. But
Mhm.
during the whole Shang Chi red carpet, Kevin Feige was out there, man. You know Kevin Feige, man. That dude. I
That
think
dude
for
knows what people want.
yeah, he knows exactly how to give us exactly what we want. And there's a really cool thing about him that I've been realizing, and I don't really think he cares much about the whole like NDAs and fucking like he'll say shit. He'll just say, he'll be like, "Yeah, man, we're doing that," which was very very particular because someone asked him recently about Deadpool 3, and he just came out and just was like, "Yeah, man, right now we are in terms of it. It's going to be our first rated R movie. Ryan Reynolds is working very closely with the writers. He's 100% part of almost like the writing team. And yeah, man, we're already going to start. We're already starting to work on it." And he even came out and said, um, talking about the what if episode that just came out with Chadwick Boseman, came out and was talking about the Black Panther 2 film and interesting rumors and stuff like that, which was like, of course, like the introduction of Namor, the introduction of Namor's cousin, the female character that they just introduced the actors. But he recently came out and said that Riri Williams, which is Ironheart, which I mean, uh, to what it's worth, nobody's excited for it. And if you're excited for it, we know you don't read comics. Like that's 100%. I'll straight tell you that. I know you don't read comics. That she will be making her appearance in Black Panther 2. And then that will build into her Disney Plus series. Now, an interesting concept is I was watching, I forgot who I was watching. I was watching someone, and they were talking about the same thing. And they said, you know what I think they're going to do? I think they're going to make it to where Riri Williams' character is in somewhat a part of like the Black Panthers community Wakanda thing that they did at the ending of Black Panther 1.
Oh, where she's
That
like
she was a
from
student
Wakanda.
there. Yeah, well, that she was a student in that. Not that she was from Wakanda, because they're not. It's not that they're from Wakanda that they're there. It's that Wakandan technology and education is there to improve the world.
Oh,
So any person in the community can be a part of it.
if they did do that, I wouldn't be mad. I would be like, okay,
A lot of
cool.
people are saying that. Well, not a lot of people, but people that are coming into speculation are saying that because in the story of Riri Williams' parents die in like a car accident or like a drive-by. I want to say a car accident more though, not a drive-by. But
Why?
I
Because
mean,
she's
I wouldn't
black.
be surprised if it was a drive-by. For what it's worth, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a drive-by. But she's a 15-year-old super genius, which is very much in terms of
Who
Shuri.
builds an Iron Man suit in her fucking college dorm?
Who reverse builds an Iron Man suit. Um, but this is very much like Shuri, where we look at Black Panther's sister and she's like a hyper genius at a young age. So a lot of people are thinking that she ends up being like maybe like a squire or like an undergrad under Shuri, Black Panther's sister, and that's where she gets a lot of her like opportunities to build the Iron Man costume and where she gets her mechanics from and the tools, and that in that process of Shuri teaching the class with her in it, she's gonna end up like picking up like some stuff and building an Iron Man costume and then like fucking flying around and doing her stupid shit. I don't know. But can I see it like what I kind of see like a casual entrance of Riri Williams being like a product of that system that they put in the movie. Because of course, like we know that for sure, like in the comic books, like Wakanda never did that. They were always still closed off and they kind of like isolated themselves. Their vibranium is their vibranium. They'll share a little bit, but that's it. But they never made like a community outreach for the black community or the underprivileged community that's in those areas or whatnot. So for them to do that, I kind of feel like it's an interesting embarkment that Marvel is using. Real world stuff into the comic books. That was like in Black Widow when they kind of created that idea that the Red Room was like a sex trafficking or like a child trafficking kind of situation with girls. It was a very, very like surreal situation that you could kind of put a little bit more base into it by using that structure. I thought it was a very good idea.
Yeah, man.
But I think the Riri Williams introduction of it being that she was a student of that embarkment from the first Black Panther film that makes more sense than her just chilling out her garage and making MIT, which is what the comic book did. It's like, oh, my parents died. Let me build an Iron Man suit in the garage of my house, and me not have the money Iron Man has, which is 100% why they tell people you can't be Iron Man because you don't got the money. You know what I mean? In any situation, they tell everybody that. But she did it in the comic books. But at least this way, it gives her a little bit more like a backstory to the structure of that build. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching because I want it to be good. You know, I kind of didn't even like the idea that they needed to introduce not Black Panther, but Ironheart, Riri Williams in a Black Panther film because it's an all black cast. Like, I kind of feel like it didn't need that. Like, you don't need to keep doing that where it's like you're reaching for this like race, like a race introduction thing. Like, that would be like, it's kind of like the Wong thing in Shang Chi. Like, do you remember how surprised we all were when we saw Wong just hanging out in a fucking illegal fight pit fighting Abomination in Shang Chi?
I thought it was funny. I didn't give a shit.
But it was weird as fuck.
I
Like,
guess.
why?
I don't know.
I mean,
I personally don't give a fuck, dude. I really don't. Like, there's a lot of things that like I'm very brushed off about because I don't have any emotional investment in any of it.
I guess that's my thing is I really care about this franchise. I care about all the franchises.
I do too, but at the same time, I know how to separate my wants for everything and what I get. Because what I get and what I want and what I get ain't always the same.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and so like when I make my theories as objective as I can. And I do it with what's in front of me. Not what can come, not what it was based off of, but what's right in front of me and the source material that involves all of that.
Well, I mean, I got a pretty good track record of using my context clues, putting it together and guessing what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, I got a pretty good track record of that. So that's not too bad. I don't think I do too bad on that. But
and I don't know why, because like I said, I know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. But you know, with certain things like with Wong showing up in Shang-Chi, I give a fuck if Wong showed up in Shang-Chi. I give a shit if Wanda showed up in Shang-Chi. Whatever, dude. It's part of the fucking movie. How does it tie into the rest of the MCU? That's all I really care about.
Well, I mean, that's the whole point, right?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I guess my thing is I don't want to see what's happening in the comic books ruin the films.
I don't think that's going to happen because now the comic books are starting to reflect the films, not the other way around. And we've been seeing that for a long time.
And we've suffered from that as the comic book readers of them.
Yes and no. And we've also suffered, I think, more so because of the pandering of the SJW community.
And the gender swapping.
And yeah, so we've seen a bigger hit to the content that we see in the fact that they've made radical changes to characters that didn't need it to appease a community that probably doesn't even read it all that much to begin with. Out of pure, well, we would like proper representation. We need proper representation. We demand this. We want this. Blah, 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 blah. It is what it is. You know, right? But with the MCU, they have a very, very strong team behind them. And the team has a fantastic track record. Mm-hmm. Billions these people have made. Billions and billions they have made. So I keep my faith in what they're doing because they haven't disappointed. Have they let me down? No. Have they lived up to my expectations, on the other hand? No. But they haven't disappointed. Because, you know, like I said for you know, other things, my expectations weren't all that high for some projects, and I didn't care either way.
Well, even like Marvel What If, like, you know,
Yeah.
we were kind of like, oh, okay.
Yeah. My only emotional investment in Marvel What If is purely with T'Challa's character. That is it. Past that, I could give a fuck what
So wait,
comes out in What If.
so what's your opinion on Ironheart coming out of Black Panther 2? Just in general.
I see it. I see it as kind of like a ploy to just introduce, yeah, like what you were saying is like more black characters. I guess, you know, if that's really what you're going for, whatever. If you're not, well then you
I
better
really hope they make it make sense.
yeah, exactly. Really hope you make that make sense. But I also see that in like you know, Shuri kind of finding out that like some rando ass kid is making a fucking Iron Man suit in her dorm. And you know, at like the outreach program that she's doing, and she's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, you see, like
you know,
that could be an interesting kind of story to
yeah.
it.
And if that happened, I'd be totally okay with that.
Which would be
Totally
great
okay
because
with it.
they need to fix that origin story of Ironheart.
Yeah, it was
They do.
trash.
Yeah, it was
It's
bad.
still stupid, but I mean, whatever. I just want to make sure that like when they introduce certain things, and I get what you're saying, you know, like that they do it right and that they, you know, stick to this and stick to that, you know, it's for me, it's just make sure it's cohesive and it fits into your overarching story as a whole.
Yeah.
Because at first, you know, Marvel was just a set of pieces that we had no idea what they were going to do with, right?
Mhm.
You know, they were a keyboard, they were a mouse, they were a clock, an audio interface, blah, blah, blah. You put them all together, you have a fucking badass podcast setup.
Yeah,
right?
You have a system.
And now that's kind of like what we constantly expect from Marvel. Like, okay, how is this going to tie into this? How is this going to tie into this? How is this going to tie into this? You know, so like we're looking at everything and just saying like, okay, you know, like how does this fit here? How does this fit here? And I mean, they haven't let us down, you know, especially with like, oh well, you know, we had Loki branch out the timeline, and because of the branch timelines, now we get the What If series.
Yeah.
Because of like now there's changes in decisions or there's changes in certain situations and stuff like that. So I mean, you know, like we have all of that going on, and you know, it's kind of just a you know hurry up and wait, especially when it comes to the fucking Spider-Man trailer. And I will down that hill. Still mad that they still.
I think
haven't
if I'm not mistaken, this is just banter talk and not theory. It's just people that are watching. If you're interested, there is rumors that Monday we're supposed to get a trailer.
I hope so.
Because
At least let's give me a teaser, dude.
They're doing this thing called like SonyCon. You're gonna have to look it up for me. But apparently they're supposed to that Sony's supposed to have a 3-hour stage time, and they're gonna be dropping 3 hours of information, all the stuff that they're working on. So apparently we're supposed to get a Venom trailer and a Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. Like apparently it's coming.
Sony E3.
Yeah, it's like SonyCon. I think it's like SonyCon.
Oh, the digital press event?
Yeah, I forgot what it's. Yeah, SonyCon. They're supposed to be, but Sony's supposed to get a 3-hour panel, and they're supposed to be showing a bunch of stuff on what they're working on. And you know, a lot of people are out there saying it would be completely ignorant if in that 3 hours they didn't give everybody at least some kind of teaser to Spider-Man. That's a lot of time to cover. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But
oh, for CinemaCon.
Yeah, CinemaCon. There you go. I knew it was.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No, I heard the same thing. John Campia was talking about CinemaCon, and that Sony has like a 3-hour presentation that they were doing, and they were like, he was like, that would be the best place to do it. If you don't do it there, then you're fucking stupid. But I mean, this is fucking Sony we're talking about.
You know, But going back to that, I would like to say that I think, and this is what I've said before on the podcast, I think 100% that the MCU has the potential to fix a lot of these comic books that they fucked up with the introductions when they were just throwing characters out there just to make people happy in some weird ass way without building any story, without putting any backstory or any effort completely into building something that they would care about. Am I excited? I'm excited for, of course, to see what Marvel does as a company with Black Panther 2. Um, it's the equivalence to us, right? As a race, the Hispanic culture, proper representation is very important to any culture. And we had just recently got the information that Namor is going to be a Hispanic guy, right? Marvel cast Namor. Um, Let me see. Who did they cast for Namor? I know it's this Mexican dude.
And yeah,
Huerta.
Huerta.
Yeah, they casted some 100%. I am not gonna be some fucking dumbass that's gonna lie to you people. I 100% was like, why the fuck did they choose this guy? Not shitting on someone in my culture or trying to be some kind of hater because I hate this dude for getting no. I was like, why the fuck did they choose this guy? Because in my opinion,
He's not
reading
even
comic
pretty.
books for so fucking long, I 100% thought that Namor would be some type of islander, someone from Asian descent, something different because of the fact of the person's skin color and the way they've always drawn his character.
Dude, you know
Did
what
I
my
think he
biggest
was a Mexican dude? Fuck no.
you
Does
know
he
what
look
kind
like
of chaps my ass about this? Dude, he's not
what?
even good looking.
No, not at all, dude. No, I mean, not to be weird or anything, but Submariner's supposed to be a good looking motherfucker, man.
Yeah, dude, he
Yeah,
pulls.
yeah,
That guy fucks, bro.
yeah, man. He's supposed to be out there. And they chose some random fucking dude that looks like my fucking Tío Juanito and shit like that, working
Yeah.
outside and shit. Like,
The kind
and
of
I was
guy
like,
who's like,
all right. Yeah, I was like, all right, Marvel, let's go. But I guess it was their way of saying, oh man, we got to please the Mexicans. Where do we put them? Oh, I mean, we can make the Mexicans Atlanteans. And then the other guys looked at him like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Like, what do Mexicans have to deal with Atlantis anyways? I don't know, man. I was really fucking weirded off by that. But yeah, apparently he's going to be in Black Panther too. And proper representation is always a really good thing that's important. So I guess cool.
right?
But yeah, I think 100% there's a possibility that the film cinematic universe can save Riri Williams as a character. And I'm 100% about it because that's the same thing I said about America Chavez's comic book, who I do not hate as a character, and I want to be successful because I think her character is pretty fucking cool. And I know, Trigger doesn't really like America Chavez too much,
No, I think she's a stupid character. But I
but
mean,
if they did her
whatever.
correctly, I think it would be pretty solid.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Do I think that like am I going to be like a huge negative Nancy and just be super duper jaded,
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
on the whole thing? Nah. No, I'm not going to because that's it's very
Anti-productive.
I mean it's not even, like not even really that, or or counterproductive or anything like that. It's just the fact that, like, hey, I'm a fan of this franchise. I'm a fan of the series. I'm a fan of all of us, right? So I should at least go in there with an open mind. Will my expectations be high? Not at all. Not at all. But I will give it benefit of the doubt that they will produce something fun or something good or something that I can at the very least enjoy.
Mhm. Well, yeah, man. I mean, I'm excited to see what they're gonna do. Was I at all excited when they announced it? Not really, because Marvel itself as a company has had a tendency to not respect the character enough and build backstory that gives us enough positivity for reinforcement. But then again, they've done well with the movies, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do with the films. We only got a little bit of time left. Trigger, your reaction to episode 2 of Marvel What If?
I'm not going to say that it was underwhelming, because I'm sure that they already, had this finished fucking months ago, or probably right around the time that our great Chadwick Boseman had already passed. or at least had his lines recorded and did everything that they were going to with it. Um, I still think it was beautiful. I'm glad that I got to see what I got to see out of um, Chadwick again. You know, it was great hearing his voice and something brand new. You know, I'm not watching Endgame or Infinity War, Black Panther or something like that. Listening to old lines and stuff. This is fresh. It was new. It was a very interesting take on the Star Lord character and how he's actually revered as an outlaw. And like I loved like is it like Desmond Ikondu or Jesmond Ikondu, his
His
character,
character.
and they're like, he's like, bro, he's basically like my best friend, and they had just met like the day
Yeah.
before. I thought that was fucking amazing. Like there was such a huge comedy, relief to all of this. I loved every minute of it. Um, but I get where some people may feel that it was underwhelming. Uh, but you know what? I'm glad I got what I got.
Yeah,
I
I
can
100% agree.
I can appreciate exactly what I was given.
Yeah, I could 100% agree. For the writing of the episode, it really wasn't there. But then again, it's the second episode of an animated series that Marvel's putting on Disney Plus. Could we expect it to be like astronomically good? No, it's just like the first episode. Like the first episode of the What If series with Peggy Carter's character. It was just fun.
Mhm.
It was like a cartoon. You know what I mean? For like it was just good to go. Of course, with the idea of Chadwick passing away, it's sad to see. But during that time in his life, boy, was he living. He was living, and I was 100% blown away by how good his acting skills are.
Oh
And I
yeah.
mean, as 100%, I've seen him in other films, and he's amazing. But for him to take the base of what T'Challa was as a character, and then completely rewrite his persona to be like this happy-go-lucky character that he was even saying when he was alive in an interview. He said, "Man, you know what? Like, I hope that I get the opportunity to bring the Star Lord T'Challa banter to the Marvel universe in some way too." Because of course you have your T'Challa in the Marvel universe who's very stern, who's very much like his father character, where there's no room for comedy, there's no room for fun. It's all serious because you're a king all the time, not just sometimes. Where Star Lord, like you said, it had this comedy to it and this up vibe that kind of made his character so witty and funny that it wasn't like the way Star Lord is in the Guardians of the Galaxy film, where his banter is somewhat offensive and very Chad like. Like T'Challa's character in this film was genuinely a great person, not a good person, a great person. Where every person that ran into him, of course, like you said, knew his legend, but they were excited to meet him. They weren't scared. They weren't freaked out. They weren't like, oh my God, this guy's an outlaw. Like he's going to kill. No, they were excited to be like, oh shit, that's this dude. I've heard so much about you. That's so cool. Like, he was officially like the coolest dude in the planet, coolest dude in the universe. And he was even so cool enough to accept and to humbly change and to bring in someone like Thanos. Like to get Thanos to think, of course, that he could be Thanos, a good person who's a gardener or whatever, and still have his opinion, but he's accepted. He's accepted by his peers for his beliefs. Like
Mhm.
T'Challa built that. It was so good, dude. It was so good. And like I said, the way that Chadwick Boseman voiced the character, his vibe of the character brought so much more meaning to Star-Lord. Like, I feel like when you watch the movies or the films or you watch anything, like, you have Star-Lord, the space pirate, the Chris Pratt one, and then you have the legendary Star-Lord that's T'Challa. The one that he should have been, right? That Chris Pratt should have been. I think it was fantastic. I think it was great. There wasn't, of course, I didn't feel like there was a lot of like send off, moments to Chadrick. But then again, I feel like that wasn't
I
written
don't
in there
feel
because that
I
wasn't the
don't
purpose.
think that, yeah, I don't think that this would have been the place to do that for
Yeah, I
him.
think even in the concept of it, it was still very hush hush.
You
Chadrick
know,
probably still
like,
kept it very
yeah, so even then, like, I'm glad that they were like, hey, to our dear friend,
at the
Chadwick
end,
Boseman.
right?
So yeah, yeah, that's great. I believe that they're probably going to give him his wells, his true send off in Wakanda Forever,
Mhm.
which is exactly where I would want it to be, where I would prefer it to
In
be.
the Black Panther too.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I believe that also to be the next movement. It was good. It was great. It was really fantastic. It wasn't a lot given. It was just a great show. 30 minutes, 40 minutes, or however long it is.
Hmm.
Uh, but it was nice. It was nice. I feel that the What If series is casually going good. Casually going good. It's not, of course, like at the same size as the Loki show or the WandaVision show, but I feel for what we're getting, it's nice. It's cool. It's just it's a nice like flavor appetizer. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, it just cleans the palate for what we're gonna be getting soon. I feel like in the maybe by the fourth episode, it's gonna pick up tremendously, and it's gonna start getting into all the crazy multiverse stuff a little bit more and stuff. Um, but yeah, for what it's worth, I do dig it, man. I do dig it. I dig the series. I thought it was great, and yeah, I hope you guys got to check it out. And if you guys checked it out, what did you guys think of the series? What did you guys think of the episode? Did you guys like it? Did you guys think there should have been more? Do you feel like they did T'Challa Star-Lord justice? Let us know in the comments. Um, yeah, Trigger. That's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about.
all right,
Is there
man.
anything
Yeah,
you've been kind of checking out?
no, man.
Did you get to see the latest episode of My Hero Academia on
No,
Crunchyroll?
no, I read it. So
If if you are watching the episodes on Crunchyroll or any other cool ass thing,
I hear that they're
know
finally going to
that
start doing My Villain Academia
yes,
already.
dude, the next episode starts the My Villain Academia series. So
Sick.
we are about to get into the one of the greatest arcs of My Hero coming up right now. Super excited to check it out. I'm ready for the fucking anime to come back or the manga to come back, man. I just want it to continue. I'm super excited. I want to see where they're gonna go. But yo, straight up, um, have you heard about this anime called the Tokyo Revengers?
I have.
Have you been checking it out? Or have you seen anything or
No, I've actually been wrapped up in other ones.
yeah.
Here, let me check out what I've been reading as of
Oh
late.
yeah, the Star Wars Visions trailer dropped this past week and it was
It looks
fantastic too.
sick,
Yeah,
dude.
when it gets closer, we're gonna be covering the
Sick.
shit out of that, man.
Yeah,
You better fucking believe
believe
it.
that. Yeah, believe that.
But
Um,
yeah, I wanted to kind of like give some attention to this. Guys, if you are interested in watching a new anime that's out there that's got some episodes up that you can really catch up and it's got a good series length and it just beat Attack on Titans on sales, on manga sales. So you know that there's something special about this anime or this manga. It's called the Tokyo Revengers. It is fantastic. I am completely caught up on the series. The manga I'm catching up on right now. But boy, is it good, man. The character development is great. The story, for what it's worth, has this like supernatural essence to it, but it's got some time travel, but the time travel is done in such a way that it's like it's not confusing. It's
fair
good.
enough.
It's good. but the characters are good. The character development, the character establishment, the story, everything about it, I found pretty fucking amazing. I recommend it to anybody that's interested in trying to find a new anime out there. If you guys want to check something out, highly recommended. I'm gonna get Trigger to watch this because he got me to watch Ragnarok.
It was
So,
good, right?
yeah, Ragnarok's good. I think the animation,
The
I think the
animation,
action stuff,
compared to the manga
yeah, it's
is
not even
night and
good.
day.
Yeah,
It's night and
day.
day.
I think the manga's great. I think for it
Yeah,
getting a second season is good. I think it just needs a new company, an animation company.
yeah,
The
I agree.
series online is fucking cool as fuck. The manga, like I told you before, I think my favorite character is Adam.
Adam was the shit.
Yeah, he is the shit, dude.
I think he got shit on though.
Yeah,
I do not feel that he
but
should
for
have.
him to automatically go up against Odin or
Juice.
Zeus, yeah, that was fantastic too, man.
It was
I was super
amazing.
blown away by it. For what it's worth, it was cool.
And speaking of that, they actually just premiered Hades in
Nice.
in the manga.
In the manga, right?
Yep.
So for what it's worth, Thor, Record of Ragnarok's pretty good, but Trigger, I want you to catch up on Tokyo Revengers. If you want to watch the manga, if you want to watch the anime, so you don't have to get into the manga, but I guarantee you're gonna want to get into the manga. Go check it out. It's super good. It's fucking fantastic. A lot of great character development. Yeah, it's gonna bring you back. If you were ever a fan of the old school Japanese biker gangs, or like a lot of like the old school, like the high school delinquent gangster guys that used to wear like the rival schools like suits, and they would wear like they have the pompadours, and
yeah,
if you were ever into that, you will 100% like love the fuck out of this series, dude. It is so good. It is so good. We got a comment from Soda Party Network. What's up, Soda Party?
Yo.
Hey guys, just wanted to drop by and say hi. I saw Star Wars Vision trailer, super amazing, and I'm looking forward to it too. Cheers, guys. Cheers to you too, Soda. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you so much. Yeah, man, we really do have to cover that Star Wars Visions trailer.
Yeah,
we'll probably have to cover it next week. Of course, we're already coming to a good close, in a good length. But highly recommended, guys. If you have Crunchyroll, get into Tokyo Revengers. If you don't have that, get on fucking YouTube. Try to find some way to check these episodes out, guys. They are super amazing. You're probably gonna be like me, and you're gonna try to start looking up merch and shit like that. I started looking up merch because I wanted to get a sweater so bad, a jacket, like the Shinjuku jackets, the old school fucking biker jackets. Yeah. But they still use the Buddhist swastika for harmony. So you have like a swastika on your jacket, and I was like, whoops, can't do that. Yeah. Even in the anime had it to where like it was removed, but the manga still has the swastika as because it's a Buddhist marking for harmony. Mm-hmm. That's what it's recommended for. It's harmony. It's like how it all comes together. But of course, like we see it in a man in history who destroyed the opportunity to ever have a small mustache. This guy literally destroyed an entire facial fashion. Hitler, if you think about it, that entire little mustache here, that guy ruined the opportunity for anybody to ever make that look nice.
I'm glad that no one ever is ever gonna wear it because I don't think it was all that much of a fashion statement to begin with, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The mullet came back pretty hard this last couple of months.
I won't fucking have one either.
Yeah, I was gonna say the mullet did make a return pretty good, so we never know. But yeah, this man fucked the world up so bad that nobody even likes that type of fashion anymore. So he ended up using a Buddhist symbol for his sign, which is a swastika. But in Japanese culture, it is used for Buddhism, for harmony. But like I said, they use it on the jacket on Amazon. So be very careful when you buy it. If you're a person who wants to get into buying the merch for, that company, just be very careful. Guys, I want to say thank you so much for tuning into the show. We appreciate you guys so much. If you can, and you guys have Spotify or Amazon podcast or Apple Podcast, guys, look up our podcast. Give us a share and a like. We really, really appreciate it. It helps us. It helps us build our podcast up. Helps us get our name out. Hopefully, our algorithm picks up a little bit. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell anybody out there that you know is super into the nerd culture, super into the comic book culture, super into the video game culture. That's what we're all about here, and we like to hear from you guys. That's why we're super about talking to everybody in the comments. I want to say thank you to everybody who tuned in today, guys. We appreciate you, to all our extraordinary listeners, guys. Thank you so much. Hopefully we get another great episode of What If and some other great nerd news coming up this coming week, guys. We appreciate you, and we'll see you guys next Friday, 9 p.m. here on the Average Boys Podcast. We'll see you. We love you. Take care of each other. Keep up covered. And we'll see you next Friday.